Felonious's comment got held for bullying because he said Neanderthal. Are you
I mean, I
able to
did
read the
eat that
chat?
like turkey leg. Yeah, I have it on my
Okay, great.
teleprompter.
Spina
I can
mobile.
see all the
Okay,
things.
perfect.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we can open up my flour. Should have done that beforehand, but I had this in the fridge. I might have needed to take it out of the fridge a little earlier, but we will see. Because it's all about temperature with this stuff. If it's too warm, you have a bad time. If it's too cold, you have a bad time. So we'll look at that when we play the dough video. But we just have to survive one rolling. I'm gonna put a little more because I had a work trip, so I made this and then froze it, so it is very well hydrated. It has had so much time to
Much hydration.
become, yeah. So I'm giving it a little bit more flour than I normally would. And also, you can cheat. We'll get to that later. If things aren't sticking, you can just hit it with a little water spray and get it back into shape. So we're going to make danishes today. So this is I use sort of the same laminated, like the dough recipe for all of my laminated experiments. And so if you want a puff pastry, you're supposed to fold it more times than if you want like a croissant pastry. So this has been folded 3 times, which you will see later in the video. But if you were doing puff pastry, you would do it more times. So let's see, how can we give it a little thwack? Hopefully that audio isn't too
The
bad.
audio is fine. I'm watching the levels. So the thwack is to kind of get it at the temperature you want it to be.
Loosen it up a little bit, yeah, because I left it in the fridge and it's a little stiff right now. Better to start colder than you need it, because if it gets warmer than you want it, then you have to go back in the fridge and wait for it to come back down again. So better to aim colder and deal with it than it be too warm and then the butter starts creeping out the sides, squishing when you roll it, and we'll get to see more of that. Well, I didn't have any butter squish out the sides, but you know what I mean when we watch the video. So just gonna give it a little squish, see how we're going. And you don't want it to stick, so I move it a lot to make sure it's not sticking on the bottom, because that's another thing that I learned painfully was like I used to not put enough flour down, and then I'd roll and the dough would be like stuck to the bottom surface, and then it wouldn't scoot. The dough has to be free to scoot when you roll it. So making sure that moving it, making sure that it's not sticking. Otherwise, your rolling is going to be upsetting, to say the least. You're gonna have a real hard time. You're gonna roll it and it'll like scoot back, roll it and it'll scoot back. It needs to be free to move on the bottom. Yeah, it is a bit cold, for which I apologize. I should have taken it out a little earlier for the demo. But.
Also, hey, Avo.
And then when you're rolling, you want to roll from the inside out. You don't want to like start on one end and like drag to the other side. You want to go in the middle, a little off of the middle, and then push across the middle. And which we'll cover this when we're watching the video. It's nice. Like I'm bad with a rolling pin. I'm not particularly great with it. So if you want a shape, it's easy to start with the shape and then keep the shape versus like start with something and try to work towards a new shape. So we started with a rectangle, and hopefully we will end with a rectangle or something mostly like a rectangle.
Right.
So you can see it's starting to squish. We're getting a little squish. It's happening.
It does take a long time for doing lamination and I always had to let my dough rest for a few hours in between some of the rolls.
Yeah, I made this one only resting about 30 minutes in between each roll, but
Mm.
again, I only folded it 3 times. So it was getting tighter like each time. So if you're trying to hit 6 folds, you might need to like take a bigger break
Mm-hmm.
in between those just to let the gluten stop freaking out. Because like as the gluten gets like tighter, you'll like roll it and then it like scoots back.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't want to be that long, and then you have to like, keep rolling it. So I can just barely get 3 with short rests. It's a little faster with the machine because
Right.
it
Does
doesn't
more of the
it
work.
seems to like not advertise it, or it doesn't antagonize the dough so much, I think. And then also like it just is strong. It's just like way better rolling than I will ever be
Yep.
with my hands.
I got really spoiled on the machine at the bakery. That it was electric and it had pedals,
Oh
and that's
yeah.
how you went left and right, left pedal, left side.
Oh, that's so nice.
I got spoiled. Doing it at home now is such a slog.
I am spoiled by the machine. Um, doing this one all by hand I was like, oh man, I'm glad I bought that machine. Uh, but it is
I
possible,
am jealous of you. It's on my
and you can do
list.
it.
But just a reminder,
I'm
y'all, you can buy the laminated dough if that's the route you want to go. Uh,
and there's lots of really nice. I I think the category is called viennoiserie. Like
mhm.
if you like type that into Pinterest, you get a lot of like really nice laminated stuff, and a lot of those because they want big defined layers to look nice are only 3 folds. Which 3 fold like hitting the full 6 or whatever for puff pastry can be like a lot. But if you just do the 3, you're still going to get like nice layers and stuff. So I'm trying to take this a little slow because we don't want to shatter the butter, as we'll talk about in the dough making section of our reverse demo. Um, but one of the common flaws is if the butter's too cold compared to the dough will squish, and the butter will not squish. It will break, and then you'll have a bad time because you'll have like little shards of butter, which did happen to me a little bit, and it's going to be just fine. So if it happens, like, no need to like totally panic. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
everything's going to work out. It's going to squish into dough, and you're going to bake it, and you're going to have a great time.
What is everyone's favorite puff pastry cook or bake that they've ever tried? I am particularly fond of palmiers.
Oh yeah, palmiers are wonderful. Claire has a rough puff palmier
Mm.
that on one of your YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you don't want to do a full laminated, you can still do a palmier. But I think the full laminated palmiers look incredible. The last time I did them, I don't think I like packed them tight enough because mine like expanded a ton. They real puffed. They put the puff in puff pastry. They went far.
What butter did you use for your recipe talks? What brand?
So this is just Land of Lakes,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Okay.
only like 80% butter fat,
Mm-hmm.
which does make it more prone to breaking, right? Because if you have more fat, like it'll be more pliable, right? Because fat doesn't get as hard as quick as the with the water does in there. So it's nicer if you can use a European style butter, but it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. So I have just been using Land of Lakes in pretty much all of my laminated things. I mean, when Walter came and we did Queen Amman, I bought the nice butter just because Walter was here as a guest.
Yeah.
Don't stick Walter with my cheap out butter, but um,
We get buy one get one free sales around the holiday. So I typically, that's the only time I'll ever get butter. And I'll freeze it. But so I've got some European butter that way. I meant to buy
Oh,
some
nice.
more the last week because it was on sale, but I forgot. I think I have enough to get through this month though.
We're squishing. We're getting there.
Okay, yep.
It's taking a little bit long because it's very cold. But if I had taken it out of the fridge earlier, for which I apologize because I was going to do that and then slightly forgot.
No, you're good.
But as we've established, I only have half a brain cell today, so please forgive me.
Such is a way of, doing everything live. You cool if I start asking you some of the questions? Or do you want to wait?
You go for it.
Okay.
No, we can do it.
Well, first thing that comes to mind is you always have these cool aprons. Is there a backstory to these aprons, or
my mom made all of my aprons? Let me go to the right. See?
How many do you have?
I only have 2. Well, no, I have 3. I have a holiday one. Oh, I should have worn the holiday one.
You want to go put it on?
I
mean,
I don't know. It's packed
whatever
away.
brings you joy.
I should have been wearing the holiday one.
It looks very holiday in a Florida kind of way, you know?
Does Florida have like Santa at a beach kind of vibe going?
Sometimes, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Bring your kids photo op, beach Santa. So
but
chat.
Yeah, she made all my aprons because she sews a lot. Sorry.
No. I'm sorry. You go on. I want to hear about your aprons. So your mom makes them all. Did you have a favorite one that you?
I think my favorite one's the black and white like striped one. I'm getting it over here. It's behind all my coats. I had a hook for these, and it was like one of those adhesive hooks, and it fell off the wall. And so now I have to get a new apron hook, but it needs to go to the laundry. It's seen battle. It needs cleaning.
It's been in the labyrinth a few times.
Yeah. But I forgot to put it in my laundry bag when I took it to the wash and fold people. I don't have a laundry in my building or my apartment or anything. I have to take it to people, and then they wash it and fold it for me. It's very spoiling to have someone else fold your laundry.
That is. Chat says some of their favorite things. Almond paste-filled puff pastry with chopped almonds, sanding sugar, and icing. Destral says raspberry danish, apricot glaze.
Yeah, we've had a little bit of butter shatter, but we're going to be all right.
Real has a question. You can read it.
Laminating is why they have beefy arms, or
when I made my croissants, the butter shattered and it turned out well still, but some of the butter kind of leaked out the bottom. Any tips to avoid that besides regulating the temp?
So I've shattered the butter less with my rolling machine, but I think that's because I've let the butter come up warmer than I've wanted it to be every time by mistake. And I'm still like dialing it in because like if I put the butter in the fridge, we'll talk about like I have footage for this when things are a little wonky doing it in out of order. But when the butter comes out of the fridge, it's like rock hard, right? So I've read that the like optimum temperature for butter rolling is around like 50 degrees Fahrenheit. But getting your butter to be at 50 degrees Fahrenheit while your dough is also at a pliable temperature is really tricky. So really, I think the only solution is, you start rolling, and if you start seeing shattering, you just kind of stop and you wait. And it's really frustrating sometimes because you're like, I just want to roll. I just want to roll the butter. And I think we're having a little of that right now, actually.
Felonious
I can
asks, how
switch.
can you tell that butter has shattered? Like, what are the signs?
Oh, well, I can show you because we've had a little bit of butter shattering right here. You can see there's like, hang on, you can see on the ridge, like there's like little patches of butter. Um, and you don't want that. You want like all smooth butter inside there. I don't think this shattered today. My third roll on the video, I think, or no, it was my second roll. I think it was a little too cold, and then your butter shatters. But it's not the end of the world. Like you're still going to end up with butter layers, and things are going to work out.
Oh,
But it's
yeah.
just
Yeah.
like, yeah,
I saw so much like messed up. We used to make handmade Danish dough, which is another type of laminated dough, y'all. We used to make that every day in the PK that I worked at, and honestly, I
production
just
kitchen.
saw so much various levels of like mess up dough and mess up proofings. It still went out. It still got sold. Like
Right?
I still have so much butter leakage. It's it's not ideal,
It's
but it still is what it is.
it's more forgiving than you think it is. It's like not forgiving in some ways and like way more forgiving in other ways. It's it's a hard, like, obviously I'm not a professional, but and I'm still dialing it in, on my roller. But, you know, just giving it multiple attempts, you start getting a little better feel for it, and things start working out. And even when you mess it up, like it usually, like you get to the end and you have something that's still tasty and pretty decent to look at.
Yeah.
Like it's a little disheartening to go to Pinterest and look at some of like the best laminated things ever, and then we're getting some stickage. So here's where I need to add more flour. You can see on the bottom, like I'm getting like you can see the dough
Mm-hmm.
layers started to like ripple or whatever. If that's happening, you need more flour. You can see most of my bench flour is now has been absorbed. You don't want that. That's a sign that your dough is dragging on the bottom as it starts to roll, and you don't want that because you need it to smooth. You need it to glide in order for it to actually like get longer. If the bottom's sticking, then it won't spread out the way you want it to.
And you want the
So
sides closed
so
for now, or are you just stretching it out?
I've closed the sides because I made this decision in the video. If you want like picturesque, pristine layers, you don't want to close the sides. But the risk you run not closing the sides to get the really nice layers is if the butter gets too warm, it's going to ooze. So if you close the sides, life is a little bit more forgiving, but you'll probably won't have the most picturesque layers in the world. So if you watch like videos of people who've made probably more puff pastry than I will ever make in my entire life. They're doing it every day, right? They like cut the edges even when they do each fold so that there's no round over. Because when
Interesting.
that round over is going to get squished on the inside and produce like a part of the inner dough where like there's there's in between the layer of fat at some point in time that round over is going to head down to get to the next layer. But if you cut on each thing, then you don't get the round over. But it's harder to do at home because like you're not in a temperature controlled room and you don't have, well, I have a roller, but even with the roller, it's very like it's given me a lot of trouble. So for this particular demo, I sealed all the butter in. So if the dough gets too warm, like it's not going to scoot out the sides,
Mm-hmm.
on you. You
Okay.
you just can pick it up and be like, okay, everything's gonna be fine. So for this particular dough and this particular demo, I kept it in. I've tried both the cutting and the not cutting, and you gotta be really vigilant about your temperatures. I wouldn't recommend doing the cutting if it's your first time doing the lamination. Like I would round it over, and just accept that you're going to have a few spots on the inside where you're going to have some crossover between layers.
Speaking of Kerrygold, One of the best days ever. I went to this grocery store liquidator, which I know I've mentioned it before, but there's some new people here. One of the best days ever. I went to this place, and they sell discount groceries essentially. And I found this untouched, pristine, just cases of Kerrygold butter, and they were like, they were so cheap. They're like 50 cents a package, a box, and I just bought like
Wow.
several like
Have you
cases
used
of
it
them.
all,
They
or is
had
it like
so
still
many
in your freezer?
cases. I used them all sadly, but it was the best. I was like, wow, like what are these even doing here? They worked perfectly. They were never melted. It was the best thing.
The dough is starting to get warm, so we got to work a little faster, but it's also fighting me a little bit. So that's kind of the other part of this, is it's really just kind of going by feel and seeing how much the dough will accept. So you can see like I've rolled, and then you can see the dough sort of like pulling back a little bit, very slight bit. But I roll, and then it's like, oh no, I'm scooting back. Oh wait, oh, it's off camera. Sorry, hold up.
It's okay.
Unprofessional of me. Unprofessional. There we go. So like roll, and then you can see it like scooted back. So our gluten's being a little angry at the moment.
Yeah. And with gluten, if anybody's here that doesn't know, just letting your gluten rest, it'll become a lot more pliable later. But
Yeah.
this is very temperature sensitive, so you want to get as much done as you can when you can.
Yeah. So I've rolled a little bit more on this side because I'm bad with a rolling pin. So we gotta do a little more on this side to even it out. So there we go. And we're getting thin. We're almost there. Again, make sure that we can still move our dough. Nothing stuck to the table.
I used parchment though, not plastic, for his. And how far are you going to try to roll this? Is it going to stretch most of your table, or?
Well, let's see how thick it is. On the roller, I usually go down to like 5 or so millimeters, which is like a little over a quarter of an inch, I think. Yeah. So we're pretty much there at 5 millimeters. There's some thick spots.
So you recommend 5 millimeters for danishes? Is that what we're doing?
Danishes, yeah, we're doing danishes. When I did the sweetsa, I pushed it down to about 3 millimeters because I needed the thickness to be smaller for the crust on the sweetsa. So it's more it's dependent on like what your final product is. We're making danishes, which I think I said at the beginning, but just for clarity, we're making danishes. Give it one more little scoot, and I think we're going to be pretty much good to go. Our gluten's fighting us a little bit, but.
How many times would you say you've made laminated dough now?
Ooh. Well, I'd done it a few times before the laminator, probably like 4 times. But since the laminator, like the month of the sweetsa, I did it every week. So that was another like 4, and then we've done some other ones. So I want to say probably around 20.
20 times. Yeah, I've seen you do a lot of lamination.
Yeah. And there's going to be more this month because I'm going to try to do some wacky stuff with it. Because I want to do more of the cross laminated.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen the bow ties?
Yes.
They're like the.
Let's say like croissant-esque things.
Yeah, I'm trying. The chocolatines or pain au chocolat.
Oh,
but they're
yes.
shaped like a bow tie
Mhm.
instead. And
Those are
some of them are
pretty
filled with cream
badass.
too.
Yeah.
And I've wanted, ever since I figured out the cross lamination thing, I wanted to try the bow ties. And then some people laminate and they'll like take some dough and color it and then put it on, and then when it gets when it gets cross laminated, you get like the individual layers and then a stripe of color and individual layers and a stripe of color.
That's been a goal of mine for
So
a very long time. That looks so
yeah,
cool. I might actually try that the colored dough this month,
yeah.
perhaps, if I
So
have the time.
very excited to try some of that. I think we're ready to cut. We've It snapped back a little bit, so we're mostly at the right height. We're probably at 6 millimeters, but for hand rolling, I mean, no need to be that precise. We're gonna get danishes. So you can, at this point, use like a pizza cutter to roll, or if you don't have a pizza cutter, you can just use like a sharp knife to cut it. But because I buy too many gadgets, I have one of these things, and I absolutely love this thing. It's so satisfying to use. So we get to use this. I'm going to use it because it's so much fun.
Okay.
I love it.
I love that thing too. Bringing up tools now. One of my questions was, what are your favorite non-essential tools? I'm assuming that's one of them.
This thing,
Yeah.
I put off buying this because it was like $50
Yeah.
for so long, but it was worth every penny. This thing's so much fun to use. Like, it might not save me all that much time, but it's a lot of fun. So that one's worth it. The other thing that I like, not related to laminated dough, is one of these
I love that
like
thing too.
OXO
Yeah.
variable measure. Oh my god, this thing's so much fun
It is.
and so great if you're doing like pumpkin or peanut butter or something goopy like that, because you can just like squeeze it out and then get yourself one of these. Love it. The laminator, that's a non-essential tool. Kind of pricey.
Yeah.
But lots of fun. And like the cookie scoops, I think are underrated because I feel like a lot are just like, oh, just scoop it out with a spoon, right? And you'll get all right cookies. But the cookie scoop, like you get perfectly circular scoops, and
Yeah.
so it makes your end cookies look way more consistent.
Saves a lot of time too, because then you're not like, oh, I
Yeah,
slightly under,
yeah. So you don't have to like weigh them or whatever. So oh, stuff has gone everywhere. But yeah, like I don't know why it's locked. It won't scoop. Figure that out. I don't know. This thing, my dad got me that, and it's been well worth it. Not required, but definitely worth the money.
Chat, what are your favorite non-essential tools? Those of you that are into cooking and baking. The tool that you're holding, the 5-wheel, that thing too, the dough scraper.
Dough scraper, but it has a ruler on it. I want to point out,
That's
if you
cool.
can find yourself a bench scraper with a ruler. I don't think this one's the best because I don't like the ruler doesn't really line up with the two edges, which is kind of annoying. So you can't sometimes you don't get the best reading when you're putting it on the side, but it is helpful to just be like, oh, I would like 3 inches, please, and then just do
That's
that.
cool. Yeah, I want to get a permanent on my board, like this tape. They
Oh,
have tape. I bought a big ruler that matches the size of my table, I guess. So I lay that down
yeah.
sometimes too.
Okay. Let's adjust the camera a little bit, and then get this. Can we get all 3? I don't know if we're gonna get all 3, but we can try. I gotta move my tablet. Tablet's gonna get in the way.
But I also like this tool because you can leave impressions on stuff. So
oh yeah,
you could. I used to use I could use my cutter to cut my puff pastry. I used to do a mille-feuille for a restaurant.
oh yeah.
So if it comes out of the oven right away, I could use the 5 cutter on it. But if that didn't work, I could make an impression on the top of it to cut it with a serrated blade. And that, it's not fun to like cut things freeform like that. So nice to
Yeah.
have this tool. And I love this tool
Uh-oh,
also
cut.
for pasta.
Oh, yeah.
I use this all the time to make pappardelle or whatever.
Yeah.
Pappardelle. I don't even know how to say the word, but
Parpadella, I think. But maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know Italian. I'm
that's like my
guessing.
favorite pasta to make because it's just like really easy with this cutter.
Yeah. So
And what do you
kind
do
of
with the
switch the side.
scraps? You just cook them like that, or
You can freeze it, and then if you throw it in your dough, like the next time when you're mixing, you can get like some of the nice yeast in there if you're trying to give it a yeasty boost. Some of the pastry, some of the viennoiserie requires like a bottom piece that doesn't need to be puffed, so you can take the scraps and like re-roll them and then just cut them into squares to make like the bottom piece that holds some of the filling in. Oh, I shouldn't do this. I need to cut the other half of the square. What am I doing? Pay attention.
we have an ad in 1 minute.
Okay, well, we will make sure to do.
That's
we'll get
okay.
the
We'll do
squares
what we
out.
can. Prime says the meat shredding claws. Yeah, those are good too. Yep. I gave Chris a pair of those 1 year.
Yeah.
I need to pull those out.
I don't know if I should have done bigger squares, but yeah, we'll do these squares, and then we'll leave some as rectangles for the different pattern type. Nice.
Did you
I
always
heard a USB
use the
noise.
same recipe? Did you go through
No,
a few?
I switched after I had the Walter stream because I was using who was I? I think I was just using like one of Bon Appetit's. I didn't drag the wheel hard enough in here. There we go. Maybe it was Bon Appetit. I was using some like generic one, and I wasn't having a good time with it. And then because it was like whenever I did the streams with them, they would be like, you know, incredibly long streams, and then I'd be rushed at the end. So I've switched to a poolish recipe. And I think that was Walter's idea, actually, to use the poolish. And I've been very happy with the poolish ever since. And I tweaked it a little bit. I added a little bit more sugar to the dough because it wasn't browning as much as I liked. I had forgotten the sugar one time, and it doesn't like brown at all without the sugar. I mean, I kept it in there for an extra like 20 minutes, and it didn't turn any more brown. I was like, oh no. So the sugar is important for color, which I was surprised by.
Yeah.
To the extent that it mattered.
Yep.
Okay.
We are in
Has the ad happened?
in an
I can't
ad.
tell.
Yes.
Okay. Okay,
Yep.
good. We're right on track. Things are going to be fine.
Okay.
Just going to separate these so they don't stick together. I might have 3 inches might have been a tad small. Probably should have done 4-inch squares, but we'll just have little mini danishes. It'll be fun. That's another thing. I should probably wait till the ad's over to talk about that. Sizing and such. How you doing?
I'm sorry. I am good. I am.
Okay.
Was just
sure.
checking on something really quick.
All right. Yeah, I just heard lots of typing, and I was like, "Is everything fine? Is everything okay?" As long as everything's going fine.
Yeah. It's all good. We and add in 1 minute. Um. Oh, a charcoal starter. You saw Walter use a charcoal starter for grilling. Yeah, that does sound good. Pretty handy. And it's pretty important that you get the crisp edges. You can't be tearing them, correct?
Yeah.
Because you need that rise on there.
Yeah, you don't want. That's why it's important to use something sharp. Because if you don't use something sharp, it'll squish it. Which sometimes I think the pastry cutter, like I have an OXO pastry cutter, and sometimes I think it's not sharp enough. If it's like if you're trying to slice it and it's squishing a bit, you can fridge it or freezer it, and then it will cut because it'll be colder. It'll have more resistance and it won't squish as much, which I've done as well to get cleaner slices.
So for those of you watching that want to see the recipe, it's this one right here. By the way, just gonna post that. Anybody new in here, remember to please throw a follow to Lord Tox, who is currently showing us how to make croissant from scratch.
Yeah. Thank you for the shouty. All right. Now we get to shape. And I've probably made my squares a tad small. These were 3 inches, but you probably want a little bit more. And there's a lot of shaping options with danishes, which is quite fun. The first of which is just I'm going to need a knife for this, just to be a little more precise. Where'd it go? My kitchen's a mess. I was out of town all week. So pinwheel. Sorry for the camera move. You just slice all 4 into the corners of your square.
Enhance. That's what chat says.
Yeah. And then you can fold over each of the little pins.
This one I always thought looks like really nice for kind of like not too much work involved.
Yeah, it's pretty low effort.
And then do you wet your dough ever?
Yeah. So if you're having sticking problems like I am here, there's 2 things. One, I've learned you need to push more than I think. Than like every time I think like I think, oh no, I want to be gentle. But if you want the thing to stick to the other thing, you got to give it a little gas. And then second, I have this really nice mister bottle. Like it's really fine mist, which is nice. So you can hit it with a little bit of spray.
Hit it with mist.
It's out of camera, but yeah, and then it will be ripe for stickage. So you can really adjust the stickage and give it a little bit of
Tox
push.
Is a gadget guy.
Give a little bit of push.
But sometimes, yeah, when we're doing the little danishes in the PK, like if you're having a bad day, you just like punch each one like as hard as you can. Because you got to put the filling in it before you bake it. So you just like take your 2 fingers and just like.
So
this is a good way to
move him to
get out some
He's
anger.
a little floppy, but that's the beauty of it. Is it's going to rise and it's going to expand, and we're going to put filling in it, and you have a good time. The other thing is the actual Danish, like the Denmark Danish, which they call the Spandauer, is literally just all 4 corners poked in, just like this. And I've noticed that doing these, you really got to push down in the center. Otherwise, well, one, I'll hit it with some mist. And then you really got to push down in the center. Otherwise, it will unfold in the proofing, and you will be sad.
So that happened to me the first time I made this. Actually, it unraveled.
Yeah.
I called them platypus
I
hugs.
was never as I was never as aggressive in the center. So don't be afraid to really give them a where they need to be like attached to each other, because we're gonna put filling right on top of that guy. So like it doesn't need to puff up. It's not gonna puff up anyway because it's gonna have filling on top of it. So you can really squish it. And the other thing to know is because of the edges, like that's where the fanciness comes from, right? So of all these patterns, you want the edges to be, sticking up, because that's where it'll separate and it'll look nice. Um, that's where the fancifulness comes from. Let's see. I need a little more, so we're just going to stretch them a little bit. So this one, I don't know what to call this. I haven't seen what to name it, but you give it like a little cut, and then a little cut when it's folded over in half. And then you kind of do this like you thread them through each other.
I forgot what this one is called. Do you remember?
Yeah, I don't. I haven't found a name for it. Like I've heard them called like sort of like a knot type situation.
Got a book here. Let me look.
But I've never found a name for them. But you get a little pocket for the, and then you get nice layers on the outside and the sides. He's a little small, but that's all right. All of mine are a little small because I might have cut him a little aggressively. Let me try. Give him
Have you ever made the cube?
I haven't made the cube, but I kind of want to. I don't have the container for it. I'm gonna try another pinwheel because my pinwheel was left a little bit to be desired.
Hey Alamo, welcome in. How you doing?
A bit much.
This month for Kitchen Gladiators, we're doing lamination. So Lord Talks is showing us making some danishes. I'm gonna try to see if I can find the names.
With the pinwheels, because you don't want to press down too hard on the pinwheel, because you want those layers to do layer things. So my pinwheels could look better.
What kind of danishes, Alamo? What is everyone's go-to with Danish fillings?
So I do like the original like Danish one where they do like a layer of like almond paste and then pastry cream, essentially. So no cream cheese, which is good, but I don't know. I just love cream cheese. So like the filling I've got for this is the Americanized Danish, cream cheese, egg yolk type filling with lemon and vanilla in it. I have in the fridge for this.
It's definitely good. Pretty good. I do like a good apple filling. Is quite amazing.
Ooh, apple. I don't think I've had an apple Danish. I'm going to do Spandauer. I'm going to do the classic.
Everyone makes those instead of danishes. Oh, really? I made like a play on that before, but so are those laminated or is it like a yeasted bread? Like kind of a yeasted almost donut-y brioche bread? I actually don't know how to say it. Kolaches?
There's also laminated brioche, which I haven't really found a good recipe for.
Laminated brioche.
Yeah. As I discovered browsing the many viennoiserie things.
I was brought to something called Viennese bread, and they're saying it's laminated. But let me look. It doesn't look laminated.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind making a
So this
laminated
one,
bread.
I'm going to experiment a little because I saw this one on the internet today and I wanted to try it. So I've never done it before. So you cut like at an angle. So they have like the little strip. So it's sort of like a pinwheel. Uh-oh, did I do it wrong? I think I did it wrong. I did it wrong. That's what I get for trying something new.
Hi, Noctis. Welcome in.
What's up,
It's
Noctis?
going pretty good. How are you? So this Viennese bread actually does seem to be laminated on the inside. That's interesting.
Okay, rotate. Keep rotating so we don't change direction.
I'm going to post a picture in the Discord for you guys to look
Ooh.
at in Labyrinth chat.
Whoa. And then they folded it up. I can't remember if is it this way?
In case anybody wants to see it, it's in Labyrinth chat on this Discord. It looks like a laminated bread. That's pretty cool.
That's exciting.
Some big Czech heritage around here, so they're pretty big in a lot of bakeries. Okay. I was not impressed with the ones that I made, but I haven't had a proper one, so like yeah, I thought they were just fine too. Is it like a boat? Is that what you're? I think actually I do know what you're talking about. Let me see.
It has these like little tendrils, and then you're supposed to rotate them 90 degrees, and then they form the walls for
Like
the
an
pastry.
outline,
And
kind
why I
of.
wanted, yeah, and why I wanted to try it is because it puts the layers facing upwards, so they're supposed to look cool. But I think I've done it wrong. It was my first attempt at them. Sorry, I know I'm not. I'm supposed to be an exemplar example of things, but
that's okay.
I don't think we did that right. But you know, whatever.
Are you gonna
Have
bake
fun
it?
with it.
Bake it up?
Yeah, we're gonna bake it. Okay, so I want to do the braid one.
Oh no!
Which I don't know. We might need to.
I hate when I do that, Alamo. Edible but ugly. Ah, hi Scandium. What do you think the new challenge is? We're getting a demo right now of it's lamination, Scandium. Are you gonna make some laminated ice cream?
That'd be cool. I don't know how you laminate ice cream, but I want to see.
You gonna laminate ice cream inside puff pastry? That'd be very rich.
I'm gonna do some more of these because they're turning out nice.
A puff pastry baked Alaska. That would be very interesting to try to keep it not soggy. Let me think. Ooh, now you got me thinking. What about a milfoil with ice cream in between the layers? Goodness.
Ooh.
You'd have to put slab the ice cream and cut it into rectangles and freeze the individual rectangles and then do your rectangle sheets and like build it and serve it like right away. That'd be hilarious.
Very quickly. Let's see.
Just for you, so no big deal. Okay. Yeah, at least. I have more talks questions.
This guy a little bit.
I guess we could continue. Continue.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here? All right. Lord talks. What is the earliest memory you have of cooking or baking?
Probably. So we lived in like a really rural area of Ohio for a short while called Mount Orab. It's a very small town. Like we had to drive like over an hour for groceries. But we lived like my grandma had a separate house, but it was like on the same property. So like we had our house and my grandma had like her house, like on like the same plot of land. So like as a kid, I could just like run between my grandma's house and my parents' house. And so my grandma would always be, she'd be cooking and stuff like that. And you could just like run in and steal cookies and things.
Oh, that's cool. Very Ohio coded, Prime says.
Yeah. It's very Ohio. So this one, because we have to entome our filling, we need the filling in before the proof. So hopefully I don't screw it up because, I'm not the best of piping, but.
Okay, so you used to go to your grandma's house and steal food, but you didn't cook any food.
No, that's cooking wise. I don't know. I remember going to like watch Ratatouille as a kid, and it was like, oh man, Ratatouille made cooking look so cool, like
That's
delicious,
And then you just wanted to do it after that?
Cook things. Yeah, I really wanted to do.
That's cute.
Do stuff after that.
How old were you?
I don't know. What year did Ratatouille come out?
Look it up.
I want to say it was probably like 14 or something. I don't know.
07.
Oh, so it was 17.
It's still a kid. Okay, so you started cooking at 17.
My parents are big food people.
Okay.
Like they love like cookbooks. They have more cookbooks than I think is like humanly possible to have.
So you always like could go through them.
So I'm always around food and stuff like that, but I wasn't like needed to like help. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
okay.
They were doing most of the stuff. So
okay.
Occasionally, my mom, probably earlier than that, would be like, "Can you do this task?"
Okay. All right.
And so I'd help, in the kitchen like that, but not anything too big, I don't think.
Did they do like dinner parties or anything?
We were like the house that all the like the extended family came over to for Thanksgiving. So we'd have like, like 17, 18. I think at one point we even had like 25 people for Thanksgiving. So we would do like, a huge Thanksgiving dinner, but not like dinner parties or anything like that. Do more Spandauer. I like how the Spandauers are turning out. They're making me happy. I'm trying to get all these done so they can proof.
And so what kind of was there a style of food that typically family tended to gravitate towards making? Was there any like signature family dishes?
My dad loves I shouldn't say loved. He still does love to grill.
Mm-hmm.
Present tense. So there was a lot of like grilled meals that were kind of like the special meals, like it's like, oh, Dad's grilling. So
okay.
And there was one, he'd do like blackened chicken and these like grilled bananas that had like a balsamic honey mustard on them.
Oh, that's cool.
And I love those. And my mom gave me like a book. She wrote down a lot of like her recipes that she made for me as a kid. So I have like a whole like a family recipe book. Actually, I can get it.
That's really cool.
It's
Yeah,
like a little binder.
I love that.
She called it Favorites from Home.
Oh, that's so cute.
And it's all meticulously organized. You can tell my mom's a little more organized person than I will ever be. But it's like all of her meals, and some of them she got from like different places, and she like annotated them, like where she got them, and it's like good to prepare ahead. And
That's
so like
so
lots of
cool.
things that my
I'm jealous too. Prime, but the chat's jealous. So everybody
it
like
was like pizza dough from the Martha Stewart cookbook, and so like a lot of them have like where they came from in there, or like Danish Thanksgiving Swedish dinner rolls. So like the dinner rolls I had like every Thanksgiving as a kid are there. We had a lot of Dutch babies. That's another one. Um, my dad would make those on like Sundays, so I associate like a Dutch baby pancake like Sunday. Very like we put honey and nutmeg on it, powdered sugar. Um, Also, an individual mug brownie. That's another one. If you need an emergency brownie, you can make a single brownie in a mug in the microwave. It's actually pretty decent, especially if you have like cream put on top of it. Kind of masks some of the. It's not the most ideal brownie consistency, but it is better than no brownie.
that is
If
very
you're in a
clean and
brownie
organized.
desert, make yourself a mug brownie.
You can if you they sell these protectors, by the way, that have the holes for the punches. I have a binder of my own
Oh,
thing, so that I'll put them in the protectors too, so they don't get dirty, because I kind of get messy. But that's an
yeah.
awesome book. That's so cool. Macaronis, yeah.
Shit, I put the filling away.
I guess we'll all have to. Those of us that don't have, we'll have to start. We're gonna have to start the tradition now. Here's that one random scarecrow salad that one of you liked for some reason. That's Lissy's family book. Is there Watergate in there? Watergate salad. I actually kind of thought
I don't know
Watergate
what
salad was
Watergate
all
salad
right.
is.
It's very strange. It's like this kind of radioactive green looking jello pudding thing with like nuts and whipped cream. I liked it in a real weird way, but I could definitely see a lot of people being concerned.
Hmm.
I think it's
I
like
gotta try it now.
pistachio flavors too.
Huh. I'm not the best at the braided ones, but you know, it's about trying. It's about growing and learning.
Do you remember maybe like the first dish that you kind of like felt as if you did a good job with it, or you're like, huh, I pulled this off?
I did like a so my parents. I guess some of the more earlier cooking I would do is my parents would like they'd have like their date night or whatever, and they'd like go out and they'd leave me home. This was after I was old enough to stay home. They weren't like leaving me when I was like a toddler. You know what I'm saying? It was a responsible age to be left alone as a kid. But I decided I wanted to make like seafood pasta for myself. So I walked to the grocery store and bought scallops and shrimp and made um, like it was like a cream tomato sauce and then like scallops and shrimp and spaghetti and ate it, and it was pretty good. Probably not the best,
Nice,
but it
yeah.
had like white wine, and because I stole my parents' white wine to put in, but I knew where like the cooking wine was. I didn't like use like the good, it was cooking wine, but I
Carl-
definitely felt like a tinge of like I'm not supposed to be doing this. I have the wine. I am a child with the wine.
I remember trying to buy. Me and my friends tried to buy. We were cooking, and we tried buying cooking alcohol, and the people at the register were like, you're like 15, no, and they're like, but we're cooking. What are we supposed to use? Like, it's their problem.
I did have to buy cooking wine for a friend in college because he was trying to make his girlfriend dinner and he
Oh
couldn't get the
wow,
cooking wine.
that's
She was
funny.
like, "You're 21. Can you go get the cooking wine?"
Crawdad says, "Damn, scallops as a kid." Yeah, that is pretty. I I haven't cooked scallops at home. Chris doesn't really eat seafood, so
Yeah,
tend not to cook it too much at home.
I love seafood, probably way too much. That was one of the nicer things about my work trip. We went to a very fancy seafood place. I had an entire steamed lobster. It was awesome.
Can you show us your piping bag real quick? It has an
It doesn't have a
adapter.
tip in it.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
it
So
has an adapter to like keep it as a circle, but I didn't have a tip with the big enough diameter. Because I have like the tip, I have like the assortment kit, but I didn't have one the size that I wanted in there. You buy all 49 of those, and you think, oh, I have all of the sizes, and you go to use a size, and you don't have it, and you're like, oh my god, how is this possible?
Prime says it would be super cool to have a place for everyone to share their family recipes and build like a collective family recipe zone. I like that. That's a cool idea. How do we do that? Do we do like a forum on the Discord and we just have like a specific thread dedicated to it?
It could be.
I could
have
do like a link thing.
Complaint about the internet. It doesn't have a standard recipe format, and it angers me.
That's the internet.
like we have Markdown, which is what Discord uses, and it has like a standard way to like, you know, make a bold item and, you know, like embed a link, and it's like, but a recipe, we could be doing this better as a society.
Sure, yeah.
I might fridge some of my leftover pieces because my sheets are kind of full of stuff.
Okay.
So,
okay.
we have examples. They're gonna bake. So I will figure out how to put this.
Hi, Uncommon Wolf. How are you doing? What? So you got out of karaoke. I heard that if you go to karaoke, it's like you have to sing a song. Did you end up singing? And if so, what did you end up singing? Also, we released this much challenge. It is lamination. Working at a grocery store at like 18 and carding people for cooking wine felt criminal, says Noctis. Yeah, I was about to say who wants to drink that stuff, but I kind of might have done that as a kid. Listen, I worked in Italian restaurants at a really young age, and I was left unsupervised sometimes. And I got very bored. So naturally, I got curious.
Have a sip. One sip. Then be like,
And then drunk. As a young child.
So we have our shapes. They're a little petite, but you know, they're gonna go just fine. And so we'll proof them, and then after they're proofed, we'll pipe some filling on the top of them, and then I have some fruits to put in there. So we can proof these, and then we can watch the video on how to make the dough.
I think they look really nice.
We're doing everything in reverse order.
They look very cool. Let me get myself out of the shop for this. Hold on. Wait, put it back.
So I'm putting them.
Okay, never mind.
Wait, what? What's happening?
Oh, okay, I just want to get a shot. Oh, let me get a shot.
Oh, hang on. We can optimize this a bit. There we go.
What are we doing? Are you gonna take a shot?
No, I'm just putting it in the right position.
Okay. Why would I go invisible?
Oh.
Let me invisible. Hold on. Sorry.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna correct the angle because we were a little tilted.
Looks really nice. I'm gonna record this part. Wait, no. Here. I'll just record it and then stop recording it. There we go. Alright, do your thing.
You good?
Yes.
Okay. So where's my tablet?
Why am I here? Hello? What happened to the camera?
My camera, no. It overheated probably. It's like 80 something in my apartment right now because my stupid heating.
I'm back.
Come
over
back
here.
To me. Come back. There we go. So we're gonna put it in the smart oven because the smart oven not to bake, but it has a proofing mode that adds moisture and stuff. But if you don't have a smart oven with a proofing mode, you'll want to put plastic over top of them so they don't dry out. Because if you just leave them on the counter like this, they will start to dry out, and that's not good. You don't want that.
But you could plastic wrap and leave it on the counter.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
You can plastic wrap. Yeah, just put the plastic over top of them, and then
like loosely.
Yeah, just drape it over the top. Here, I have a piece of plastic. I will demo.
Hi, Indigo. Welcome in.
Put the plastic over top of it.
Come in time to see Lord Talks. Yes, we're demoing everything. You got any videos of your mom sewing your apron? We're gonna demo those too.
No, but she's in a quilting guild. So
a guild, damn.
Like that before.
She's legit.
Yeah, there's a whole group of people that make quilts and stuff like that.
Oh.
She makes a lot of quilts for kids, so babies from hospitals and stuff.
Oh, that's nice.
And it's she's done hundreds of them. There's literally hundreds of kids sleeping in blankets my mom made. It's crazy.
You sang Strangers in the Night. Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis Presley. Amazed by Lone Scar. And sang a duet, Tale is always time. From Beauty and the Beast. Or wait, no. Something else.
Did I miss something? Sorry.
That's what Wolf sang at karaoke.
Oh.
Glep says, sorry, that demo was a little confusing. Could you run us?
Doing weird things. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. I was reading the chat of Indigo. No, she makes them for babies and small toddlers, but not 9-year-olds, or you know what I mean.
Babies are like babies.
It's a range. There's a range of small children receiving blankets my mom.
Oh, Wolf got bonked
via charity.
Did anyone catch the link?
Oh, I can go find it.
For some reason, it's showed to me. I'm the admin here. Why don't I get to see it? What do I need to do? What's shield mode?
I have a.
What does that mean?
Oh, shield mode's you got a hate raid, and you want it to be super modded to stop the hate raid.
Zem would like a blanket and is allegedly a baby.
Okay, so they're proofing. Do you want to show the video of how to make the dough now?
Okay, we can do that. We're gonna go
to. So for context, I suppose I should explain what proofing is. We formed the dough, and the yeast needs to do yeast things. It's gonna munch. It's gonna eat them sugars and make gas, and then that gas is gonna puff up the pastry, and we want that because then when we bake it, that's how it gets all puffy and flaky.
Mm-hmm. And maybe you can show us various stages of when the dough is, do you poke it? Do you look at it? You could kind of show us what are we looking for? Sorry, Wolf, you can't post, we can't post things. Well, you can't. Oh. Only mods can. So if you put it in the Discord, I can look at it. Oh, but you're driving, so you get to send it when you get back. All right, Indigo, thanks for coming by. Good to see you.
Thanks for stopping by.
Gonna put.
Oh. I gotta go. This button. Back at my desk.
I don't think we really need. Oh, it's voice to text. Sorry. I don't think we need me in here, so. Oopsie, what did I do? Okay, there we go.
I don't know.
We could just have you.
Okay.
I think that's fine. Or I could add in and just take me out some of the time, I guess.
Yeah. Sorry,
Um,
I'm moving my screens around.
you're fine.
Okay, so we're going to be doing the dough in video form uh, because we weren't going. It was going to be a really long stream if we started from scratch all the way at the end. So while the dough is proofing, we get to see how the dough is made. So it's slightly out of order, but the dough that we're doing is with a Polish. I think this is making the Polish. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So the Polish is a way of not having to do the bulk ferment. So with normally with a yeasted dough, right, you put yeast in the dough and then you mix it all together and then you wait and it like puffs up and then you punch it down and then you shape it and then you let it to proof again. So we're doing our second proof right now. But with a Polish, the night before, I got like 16 hours ahead of when you need to do it, you can just do the incredibly low effort job of measuring out some flour, equal parts flour and water. I'm just using a kettle because it's easy to pour, not because it's hot. Um, flour and water, equal parts, mix them together, toss a little yeast in there, and cover it, and then just forget about it for the night. And then when as you'll see later in the video, uh, it'll have like all bubbled up and it'll smell like a brewery in there, and it'll all the yeast will have grown, and you'll have essentially like front loaded your bulk ferment so you can do all of your dough stuff all in one go versus having to like mix it and then wait like 2 hours 3 hours and then do the next part, which for production things probably not the best way to do it, but if you're just like a person in your house, I like that it gets you. I think it gets more yeasty flavor versus like bulk ferment without doing a cold ferment like in the fridge, like overnight. So it's a cheat code, in my opinion. Also, if you're doing it on stream, it makes it easy because you can make this ahead of time, and then you don't have to do a bulk ferment on stream. So if you're trying to show it all in one go, it's helpful. So I'm just mixing it together here, and then that's pretty much all there is to it. Making it Polish, just mix, cover it, and then wait. Have you done a Polish before on anything?
Yeah.
I'm curious on your thoughts of Polish.
Oh yeah, it helps to kind of get a little bit better flavor without all that like. Well, I guess you're moving around the wait time for development
Yeah.
of flavor for fermentation, essentially. Um, so I'll do Polishes when I'm doing my no knead artisan rustic bread stuff, like what I posted for. I posted in the Discord Zem's Zem's dinner that I made the other day. I made that's a Polish bread, and so that goes for like 14 hours, and then yeah, it gives it more flavor, definitely. I find regular bread without any fermentation is just like really really boring.
So if you're gonna do these laminated breads or this laminated dough, you need a ruler and pencil. I'm just showing materials here because we're just gonna use the rolling pin like you saw, and then you need a mixer. I mean, you can knead without a mixer, but you're gonna get a workout, so it's way easier. And then ingredients wise, flour, sugar, yeast. I put this is the thing. I've been using this recipe and it hasn't let me down, but I wonder how necessary the extra yeast is because of the Polish pre-ferment. But I do it anyway because it's been working for me. So I have to investigate. I have to do an A/B test. But anyway, water. Well, we're going to start with our butter block, and I did a 6-inch by 7.5-inch butter block because that's about what will fit in my parchment. So I'm just marking out the spots there. And based on your parchment width, you might have a different dimension that you can achieve, but you want to be able to fully encase the butter in the pastry paper because that's how you get it to roll out into the shape that you need it to be. And so one sheet of paper is going to be what you want to work with. I flip it over so the pencil marks are on the other side, not touching the butter, and then I pre-fold it on like all the little marks that we just made to set out the side. And we're getting a raid from Cozy Conchili.
Hi,
Hello.
Cozy. How are you doing? Is Blurps not on the screen? Oh yeah, we did we take Blurps off the? Yeah, we did. Cozy, welcome in. How you doing? Thank you so much for the raid. We're doing our roundup for Kitchen Gladiators right now. November was maple syrup, and so we have Blurps. We just don't have the raid stuff. Okay.
Interesting.
And now we're watching Lord Tox make puff pastry from scratch. What were you up to for your stream? Oh, it's late.
How's it going, Tan?
Now I'm getting the raid noise. Hi, Tantan. We got lots of the mighty mangoes. Let's get some shout out. Tantan. I feel like shout out should be a button. Great to see you guys. Thank you so much.
Overwatch 2. Ooh, how fun.
Oh, Eso, right? Worst mod ever. Well, thank you. It's so good to see you guys. Lord Tox is making a butter block. And
so we're sort of doing reverse order because we rolled out the dough and it's proofing, and now we're showing a video of how the dough is made, just to consolidate for time. But anyway, sorry to cut you off, Saren.
No,
Good.
You do your thing.
Yeah, we're folding the parchment paper into the dimension that we want the butter to be, which just because of the size of my paper, I chose 6 inches by 7.5 inches. And then we can roll the dough accordingly to whatever the size of the butter block is. But because we use 3 pieces of butter, 3 sticks of butter.
We got another raid.
Oh my goodness.
Hi guys. How you doing? Oh, is the music off? Oh wow. Oopsie. Alright, hold on. We gotta add some stuff. Hi guys.
Real homies raid real homies.
Hovey, thanks for the raid. How you doing? We're just learning how to make puff pastry from Lord Tox. I'm just fixing something really quick. What were you doing? Were you doing Overwatch too? I'm excited to see you guys. So this is like the Kitchen Gladiators roundup. So last month we did maple syrup. I would show you the reel, but I actually took it off to do Tox's thing. Next time I will make a separate channel. I'm looking for the audio.
Say the proof is in the pooling.
The proof is the pooling. We used a poolish.
Oh, thank you for the raid, homie.
Yes.
Don't apologize.
No, thank you. No, you didn't interrupt. You're good. I'm trying to add music. All right, fine. We'll do it this way. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. We'll add a new source. Oh no, it started all over again. What the hell? Oh wait, we went too far now. Okay, we're gonna rewatch this part.
That's fine. Oh,
this is
no.
Oh, the butter. Hi, kitty.
Yeah.
The cat sees that we're getting. Hello, kitty.
Making herself at home.
Tox, how do I add Spotify? Is it audio?
An application audio capture.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, we're pre-folding the parchment to the dimension we want. And then we're going to stick all the butter in that center square there. Eventually. I don't know. Where did I go? Did I run away? What happened?
Sorry, the editor didn't do a great job on this one.
Oh, there's the butter. I got lost. I got lost on my way to the fridge. With
Cat's
butter.
trying to comfort me and to stop laughing so much. Ow.
Anyway, I cut it into like little
sucked.
squares there. There's probably a faster way to do this, but I also kind of find it satisfying to have all the little squares in a row. So the idea here is we want a big, thick chunk of butter. Okay, I've decided to run away. Oh, it's faster. There we go.
I sped it up.
Understandable, because I was taking my sweet time to put all the butter. There's probably a billion faster ways to put butter into a square, but I chose the most pleasing to the eye. The nice grit butter. Take my sweet time doing it, and then we're gonna roll it here at the end. Why does it keep thinking poor Wolf is posting links? He's not posting links. I can see what he's posting. There's no link in there. Oh, there's a dot between the and. It thinks fold.and is a link. That's not a link. Poor Wolf.
Wolf is gonna like get banned. Auto banned.
Trying to drive and getting bonked left and right.
Noctis.
Yeah, I'm very intense buttering.
This is an Olympic. Olympic butter blocking.
And for whatever reason, instead of just shifting all the butter over, I was like, I'm gonna make a butter border. So we got a butter border going. I don't know.
Ow, kitty. You're scratching me. Just a one piece.
And then I just throw it on top. Because I was like, where do I put this? Anyway, then you package all your butter up like a nice little gift to yourself. A buttery, wonderful gift. Fold the paper over. Just like that. And then you get to do the fun part. You hit it with a rolling pin.
The audio.
It's like fast right now.
I did this when I didn't have my audio up, so like. Listen,
but I will say, it's important to roll it thoroughly because you want it to be warm and pliable, right? So like if your butter just came out of the fridge, it's not going to roll very well. So you're going to have to smack it a lot to bring it up to temperature. But you do want it to all merge into one piece. If it doesn't merge into one piece and you try to start like rolling it, okay, I'm pointing out, there's gaps here. You got to keep rolling. So keep rolling. You want it to all be one nice, homogeneous, buttery block. Otherwise, when you roll it in your dough, it will break along those lines, and then you'll have a bad day. So you gotta make sure it's all one piece.
This is
Leave all your butter in one piece.
The finger wag, yeah. Talks recorded all this stuff, and I was like, I'll edit it. And then we both got busy, so we couldn't really talk to each other while we were doing all this. So I had to like kind of look at this, and I was like looking at all the gestures, and it was really funny to kind of piece together what I was supposed to be like putting stuff. Because it's like 20 videos to like put together.
Yeah, I didn't do a very good job of breaking my recordings up for you. So I'm gonna roll maybe one more time. Who knows? I was frustrated this part because this was my second attempt because I didn't roll out the first butter block and it screwed me over. So don't make the same mistake that very tired me made and not roll your butter enough.
We slowed it down now.
Just gonna keep staring at it. Maybe it's the end. Maybe I might roll it even more. Who knows? I was playing no games with that butter not being a block. And then I'm like, oh no, it got longer than it's supposed to be. So we're going to adjust for that. All right, now we're going to make the actual dough. Hooray! So I got all my ingredients pre-measured out there.
there's the poolish. You can see it got all like goopy and very stringy because of autolysis will create gluten without you doing anything. Just the presence of water, gluten starts doing gluten things, and so it's very gloopy and goes in there. And that's all the tasty yeast flavor. And when you open that up, it smells kind of like a brewery. So apparently we lost a little bit there, but I just put the water in and threw some yeast in there, and we're gonna mix that together, just to like loosen up that and get the yeast hydrated, and it's gonna be good. There's a lot of scraping footage. Listen, it was a hard week. I've been traveling so much for work. I wanted to edit this. I didn't have time to edit this. I gave Saren like 4 hours of footage and was like, "Hey, edit it together."
I actually
So
didn't find it until like yesterday, so
yeah. So
or the day before. I had to work yesterday, but so
anyway, we're gonna put our sugar in there, and then our flour.
How many hours on the poolish did you do?
I think 16 is what I did. Put our dough hook in there.
Oh, this is funny. What Noctis? I think we've made a whole new genre. Talks.
Confusing cooking footage.
I like how like that was very satisfying the way the mixer head went down. Ah.
So when you're using a dough hook, if you have a KitchenAid mixer, you want it to always be on speed 2, assuming your speed is calibrated. This is slightly sped up. So
this is sped up. Sorry,
fast,
I should probably not. This is not the right speed, y'all.
I'm just saying, if yours is going this fast, you risk burning your motor out. But so you're gonna want to knead it on the setting 2 for roughly like 10 or so minutes. And here I've stopped it because we haven't put in the butter yet, because there's butter in the dough. And you can see it's just come together and it's really shaggy. And this is when I start dropping little chunks of butter in. And so I don't know what I'm doing here. I think I wasn't satisfied with the way that dropped, and I thought about editing it. But this was when I had dreams of editing my own video. And not just forcing poor Saren to edit.
I might have skimmed a lot, so
yeah, that's fine. Everything's fine. We're all fine.
Maybe this one won't go on YouTube for you.
We'll just start throwing little chunks of butter in, kind of like a brioche. You add it. And it definitely needs the butter for moisture, because you can see how like stiff it was. So that butter is important. I had dreams of editing. When I had to travel for emergency work trip. Yeah, the dough kind of moves all weird at this stage. But we're getting the butter, just a little bit of butter at a time, and it mixes together. And then it'll start looking a little more like a dough. You just have to trust the process. At this point, if you're never done before and you're looking at what the dough hook's doing, you're like, oh God, what have I done? But trust the process, and it will work.
I don't need to.
Is it going to come together? Will it become a dough? Is everything going to be fine?
Okay, I sped it up at this point. All right.
Yeah.
And I took the audio out. You're welcome.
Okay. But yeah, you're gonna want this to go for like 10 minutes or whatever. I stop it halfway through to show you what like not mixed enough is. So we're gonna get to a point, and past me we'll stop it and show you, and it won't like stretch enough, and it'll be like a little, so you see it starts to like group together all in one ball, and it starts like thwacking around, and that's when like the kneading really starts going. And then it's like mostly like this for the machine does a lot of the work, but it also like takes slightly longer than you think it's going to take. Like every time, it gets me every time. I'm like, dang, it's still not. It's been going. It's been kneading, and then it somehow isn't enough. So we're still at like less than the halfway point right here, which is kind of crazy. But there's a lot of this. You're gonna want.
And what speed were you on? What'd you say for this part?
This is 2. The KitchenAid's
Yeah, it looks like 2.
instructions say to only use speed 2 with the dough hook. So if you're doing dough,
Yeah.
you put it on 2, and then you don't move it to a different setting. That's the one speed for a KitchenAid.
Not gonna lie, I might have been using 8 on pita bread, which is
yeah. So
something.
here's about halfway through, and you can see the dough's like a little bit grainy, and then you see it doesn't like stretch; it just like breaks. So I'm like breaking, and it doesn't stay.
I forgot to
gotta
get
keep
rid of the
going.
audio on this one. Oh, I want you guys to hear the dough slap. Yeah, that's a part of knowing when the dough's done.
So if you keep going and it slaps, then you can see it's much smoother now. It comes off the dough hook all in one thing, except for that little bit annoyingly on the end of the thing. And then you can see it's like, hey, smoother. And that's just like another 5 minutes of doing. And you can see it's really thin. And hopefully if the light hits it, yeah, there we go. Window painting. That's what they're talking about. That's how you know your dough's ready. It's nice and smooth and stretchy. Night, Knockness.
Good night.
Thumbs up. That's how we know our dough's good. You give a thumbs up to the camera.
30-second ad break.
Yeah, we got like a minute or so. All right. Clean off counter. We're going to have to chill the dough. So place the parchment down like it's going to break or something. Just the slowest placement of parchment. And then you don't want to just throw the parchment down. That's a no-go. Don't do that. You're going to want to shape your dough at this point. You're going to want to roll the dough into a rectangle. So you want it to start as a rectangle. So our job now is to get this dough into a rectangle. And you want it to be big enough to hold your butter blocks. That's why you get your roller out and you get yourself one of those little bench scrapers. They're very cheap. They're very nice. You just want to stretch the dough into a rectangle. And you want that rectangle to be as tall as your butter block is tall. So mine started out at 7.5 inches, but I didn't do such a good job with paper, and it crept up to 9 inches. So I'm going to push it into a rectangle. Nice, good starting rectangle, square it up, and then hopefully it's 9 inches tall. Let's see. I'm trying to get it really square. It's not working very well, but I'm trying my damnedest.
I did cut quite a bit. We'll see when it kicks in.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's...
Nope, we're now in ads. Ads have started.
Okay, I'm going to pause it here. Alright, I will be right back. While we're in ad
Okay,
land.
I'll chill here. Doing chill things.
My ears.
Oh no. Well, how's all the subscribers doing out there? You hanging together? Is it the temperature? I was in Boston and the temperature dropped like crazy. Anyone else have a sudden temperature drop this week? Poor them. Being eaten, I assume. So did you have a sudden temperature rise then? How cold does it get in December in Florida? What's the weather like? I have no concept of Florida. If I go below the Mason Dixon, I'll melt. 65? That's not jacket weather. Good lord. Lowest is like 40. Oh. Okay. Is it like dire straits when it gets to 40? Does everyone go to the grocery store and buy all like the bread and milk? Freak out? See, I start roasting above 60. I can't go below the Mason Dixon.
Dang. Talking shit.
Not talking shit.
Not you, sorry, Sam. About me wearing my poncho. Right?
Oh, I was saying that I was in Boston and it dropped down into like single digit degrees this morning. It's like it was very cold getting to the train this morning. And New York's, I forget, New York was probably the 20s. But I was saying it suddenly decided to be winter. It was like, today's winter.
Oh, over there, yeah.
Yeah. And then Zem was saying
That I get
it doesn't do
cold.
cold. Well, no, he was saying that Florida just doesn't do cold.
Mm.
And I was saying if I go below, if I go down there, I'll melt. Like I just won't survive. I'll be dead.
All right, you ready?
Yeah. So we've made sure our dough is the height of our butter block, because that way we only have to roll in one direction, outwards. And then I just package the dough up in the parchment, like a little gift wrap. And then I'll let it sit in the fridge. Relax a little, because all that gluten in there is all tight and annoyed because we beat it and developed it, and it needs a little bit to relax. Ideally, you'd like probably leave that in there for like an hour or something like that, but ain't nobody got time for that. So I left it in there for like 30 minutes. And then when you get the butter out, it's like rock solid, and you don't want that. So I put it to the side to like come up to temperature. So your fridge is likely too cold for the butter to be. So you got to take the butter out ahead of the dough so it can like start coming out. Because if you start rolling the dough, if you start rolling the butter when it hasn't gotten to like a pliable stage where it's like bendy, then it's going to break and you're going to be unhappy because your butter will have shattered into bits. So the first roll is like the most important for butter shatterage. It's the easiest to shatter it at this stage. So flour the work surface. Get your dough out of the package. Flop it down, hopefully. Come on, past me. You can get it out. You can do it. Get it out of the parchment. There it is. Oh, I didn't like that side. Oh, we're going to do it anyway. All right. There it is. So our goal here is to check the dimensions, realize that we lost a little bit, and probably we'll need to stretch it out vertically to match the dimensions of our butter block a little bit. Point at it, just for good measure. That way you know there's dough there. Check the dimensions again and realize you've hit 9.5. Excellent. Give it a little bit more, because you're going to want to do the butter wrap like we talked about. Check it a third time just to be really sure that you're not going to screw it up. Check it with the butter. Confirm that 9.5 inches is indeed 9.5 inches. And then you want to roll horizontally because you want it to essentially become twice as wide, because you're going to put the butter block on there and then you're going to want to wrap it around. So it needs to be twice as wide. You don't need to get it really thin. You're just looking to have enough to encase the butter in dough. So you can see the corners split just a little bit there, which is probably my parchment wasn't tight enough and it kind of dried out just a smidge, but it's fine. Just squish it and life will go on just fine. Clean off the flour a little bit, stroke it essentially. For some reason, I realized it wasn't wide enough.
I'd be
So I
doing
gave it
that
another
too.
roll.
It's like it's information. You're getting information through your fingertips.
Gathering dough statistics.
Yes. Dough health.
I'm getting a little frustrated with the corners there, but it's fine. It's fine. Give it a little roll.
I didn't listen to any of your audio here, so who knows?
Yeah, I don't say any words because I just intended talking. So you can see it's twice as wide. So now we have enough. Just a little bit of eyeball, fix it up a smidge. Get frustrated with the corner like 1,000th time.
Gene has
Make
a
sure
question.
It's not sticking. Oh. Is there a secret to not messing up the corners? I think the corners have been screwed up here because my dough dried out just a little bit. So when I do a better job of wrapping the dough, I haven't had corner problems. So I think that's a hydration thing, which maybe if I had used plastic wrap, then I wouldn't have had that problem. But I try not to use plastic wrap because I was having a breaking issue, so I'm checking to make sure it didn't break. Earlier, I snapped my butter block, taking it out, and I was like, dang it, now I have to re-squish it because you don't want any. If the butter breaks apart, then it's not going to squish evenly. So I was making sure it was all one thing. I think I've walked away from my computer here for some reason. Or sorry, from the table. I don't know what's happening. Okay. That was supposed to get cut in my imaginary edit that didn't happen because I was traveling. Right. Very precariously peeling. You can see it's flexible. It's a little bit warm, right? And this is fine. It's not like softened butter. Like you're not going to spread it, but it's also not like rock hard. So you can see it's bending there, and that's what you want because that's how you don't get butter breakage. So we fold it over and fold it over. And here is where, like, if you're really, really good, you wouldn't fold over the edges because that will slightly mess with your layers just a little bit. But I tend to fold over more than not because I'm not the best at it. And if you get the butter temperature wrong and you don't fold your edge, then the butter can squeeze out the sides, and then you're unhappy. So if it's your first time doing it, I would say fold over the edges, and that way, if your butter is too soft, it won't immediately leave the sides and jump onto the work surface, and then you'll be sad because now all your butter is out of your dough. And instead, it will stay inside for the most part. So rotate 90 degrees along the seam. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Quick
Just messing with
question.
it.
When you say the butter sliding out, is this during the lamination process only? Is that what you mean by that?
Yeah, I mean when you're rolling it, right? If the butter is too soft when you're rolling it, like relative to the softness of the dough, then like the butter will give way and it will squish out the sides, right? So when you need the consistency of the butter and the consistency of the dough to be really similar so that they squish evenly and they move. But if those two consistencies don't match and the butter is too soft, the dough will just push the butter out of the way instead of stretching. And if you have the sides open, then the butter like squeezes out like one of the those Play-Doh machines where like you squeeze the Play-Doh through, like your butter does that but out the sides of the dough, and it's frustrating.
Okay. And if that were to happen, would you just progress?
Yeah, as soon as you notice it happening, the best thing to do is to stop like rolling it and get it back in the fridge to like firm up the butter, because it's too soft, and like the only way to make the butter not too soft is to throw it in the fridge. So just put it on a sheet pan or something and chuck it in there. And if you're trying to get there quicker, like if you're trying to move along, you can put it in the freezer, right? And that will firm up the butter. But it's easy to go too far, and then the butter will be too firm. But that's like a better problem to have than not be firm enough, because if the butter is like too firm and it starts like you start noticing it like separating and kind of cracking, then all you have to do is just stop and wait for a little bit, because it'll start coming up to temperature. So if you put it in the fridge and it gets too cold and you take it out and then it starts breaking a little, you just wait, you just chill, and then the butter will come up to temperature, and then you just keep testing a little bit, see what happens. Just go slow. Just slow and steady wins the race. But if butter starts coming out the side into the fridge, butter starts breaking, leave it on the counter.
Okay.
So we've rotated it 90 degrees, and then we're gonna squish it for our first roll. You can see it's squishing pretty easily. Nothing's really fighting except for that seam. That's all right. No problems. I'm checking because I'm really paranoid. See, it's flexible, right? The butter's not causing, like, if the butter was too cold, it wouldn't flex like that. So give it a little flex, give it a little roll, try to correct the roll that I did. Make it a little wider, make things worse. Panic a little bit. Just roll it, just keep going. Everything's fine. Did I curse or something? I can't hear it.
There's some, just a little bit of like, you know, when you're doing something. This is kind of hard work. So, especially when you're rolling it this way. Like usually I do roll this way. For me, it's a little easier if I have the block and I'm rolling it this way and that way. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Instead
my
of
counter, my little island's not wide enough for that.
I figured, yeah.
So I have to do it the inconvenient way. But yeah, if you've got a big enough counter, you want to do this 90 degrees the way that I'm doing.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't fit in the camera. So when you get it to about this size is where we're going to do our first book fold. But you can see it's got like that little dough knob on the end. Most of that doesn't have any butter inside of it anyway, so you're free to just kind of like trim that off. And that will make the seam meet up at the edge way nicer. So don't be afraid to like trim a little bit to like get a nicer edge. And so the book fold is you fold inwards to the middle, just like that. And then you fold like a book after that, like that's the spine, right? The center fold is the spine. I'm a little happy with the edge there, so I'm trimming to make sure that it lines up a little bit nicer. There we go. A little stretch, a little squish, and then close the book. Make sure there's not too much flour there, because that'll inhibit the sticking.
As little flour as possible usually.
Yeah. You need enough flour that when you roll it, it slides, right? It's not sticking to the surface. And then you don't want too much flour, because then the flour will get trapped in there as a layer of dryer. But you can always brush the flour off before you do the fold. Yeah, like writers say.
And then you showed here.
Yeah. And that's what your book fold ends up looking like. The real pros will have sliced on all of the turnarounds so that they'll remain flat. But if you're doing it for the first time, and don't do that, don't do the slicing. It'll make your life harder, because then you'll have created many escape vectors for butter. So just roll it like that. And after you do it enough times, then you can start cutting it to get cleaner edges. But that's the book fold. Squishing it into a nice. The other name of the game is always keeping it in a rectangle, because you want to roll from one rectangle into another rectangle. So if it starts to round out, right, at this point, correct it a little bit. That's why I'm like trying to get the corners nice and square and stuff like that. So that when we go to roll the next one, we're not starting from like a rounded rectangle. We're starting from like mostly a rectangle. Because if you're like me and struggle to roll nicely, having a decent starting shape, and then I think right here I determined that my parchment isn't big enough. I get frustrated. I'm like, can I get this parchment around here? And oh no, I'm gonna have to stay. And then you express your frustration, and then you resign to using some plastic. Eventually, I'm gonna. Apparently, I'm trying again. I was delusional. I'm like, I can do it. No, you can't. You can't do it. You can't do it past me. It's not gonna work. Oh, rotated 90 degrees. Is it gonna work? No.
You should have got this. Oops.
Not gonna fit. So then you're like, ah, fine. I'll use some disposable plastic. And then you'll get disposable plastic out. I'm like, oh, I'm creating microplastics. Throw your plastic down in frustration, and use the plastic. Past Talks is an idiot. Future Talks, now he is the one we give all our problems to. He will solve all the problems. President Talks isn't responsible for any of the problems.
Little as possible.
But yeah, I don't like using plastic wrap. I bought that one roll of plastic wrap like 8 years ago, and I just don't want to use it. So I try not to use it. I hate single-use plastic. But
You broke the laminator. What kind of laminator were you using? Is it electric or manual?
let's see. Okay, so I put it in the fridge for like 30 so minutes just to cool down, have the gluten relax just a smidge. We're just doing like so like puff pastry, you do like 8 total folds or 6 total folds, I mean. But for like croissants and a lot of the viennoiserie stuff, you just need to do 3. So you can be a little more aggressive because you only have to get through 3 before the rest. I tried to squish it a little bit in the opposite direction because I wanted to be more square. That's why I'm kind of doing 2 directions worth. But in general, you just want to expand in one axis. You want to rotate 90 degrees every time. What's the not like this for?
This silly joke.
Oh, okay.
Wolf.
I'm checking to make sure that the butter is pliable there. And I can't remember. Well, I guess I'm still rolling it, so I guess I thought. You can kind of see some ghost things of butter shattering there. You can see how there's like sheets of butter there and like where the dough kind of bent. Yeah, I gave it a sit. I was like, this butter is going to keep breaking. So I let it sit there on the counter for a little bit to come up to temperature a little bit. Make sure that it's not sticking to the counter. Decide I need more flour. Place it down. And then we're going to roll it out and we're going to do a letter fold this time. So a book fold had 4 parts, whereas a letter fold has 3 parts. Just trying to keep things in decent. You can see how my butter shattered a little bit. You can see it stretching there. There's little gaps in between the butter. You don't want that. I think my first roll was a little too warm. Also, it could be the like folds that did it. That's the letter fold. It's 3 parts. Like a letter. When you get a bill in the mail.
He was just brushing off all that excess flour like we talked about.
Yeah. A wallet, yeah, that works too. Making sure that it's a little even. I probably could have stood to trim that a little bit, but it's gonna be fine. And that's our letter fold.
And
After
now,
you get that first roll going, life is much easier.
and now we're on. So this is
I
our.
just stopped to show what it looks like. Yeah. Sorry, I'm watching your stream, so I'm delayed.
Oh yeah. So that was our. It was our second fold, but since you did a book fold, it's technically a few more layers, correct?
Yeah. So the weird thing about the folds is, right, they don't always double. It's like double minus one for a fold when 2 layers, because the 2 dough layers on the outside will merge together because there's no butter in between them. So like if you have dough, butter, dough, and you fold that over in half, then you get dough, butter, dough, butter, dough. You don't get dough, butter, dough, dough, butter, dough. So, yeah. So let's see. Fold, book fold gets from 3 to 5, and then from 5 to 9, and then the letter fold will go 20 from 9 to 26, I think. And then we're going to do one more book after that.
Just posted the link again for anybody that wants to kind of look at the recipe while they're watching the video.
Yeah, it's for Queen Amman, but like the same dough works for danishes and croissants. It just matters how you prepare it. Queen Amman, on the last fold, like the one that we're going to do, you put sugar in between the things. So there's like sugar in the layers as well. But I'm not doing Queen Amman, so we're not going to add any more sugar.
Hydraulic press.
I believe classic puff pastry would have more folds than we do. So like croissants has a book fold, a letter fold, and a book fold. Whereas a puff pastry, I believe, has more folds to it.
And people do tend to track because it's easy to forget. So we would push indents into the dough after each roll, basically.
Oh. Oh, Julia rated us.
Oh,
Hi, Julia.
hi. Welcome in. Thanks for the follow, Green Perch. Julia, what were you up to over there? Good to see you. How was work today? Got any cool cakes that you dropped off? So I saw you here earlier. I'm assuming you saw what we're doing this month. How do you feel about it? Hi, Green Perch.
What's up?
If anyone wants to join us this month, we're making laminated creations. Doesn't have to be like actual puff pastry or anything like that. You can do other laminations. But here you go. You can join us.
Hi, Julia.
Julia, how do you feel about doing some laminated doughs? I am turning this back on.
Yeah, so I just took it out of the fridge and I tapped it with my knuckle to indicate it was way too hard because it just came out of the fridge. And between the 2 rolls, I had to run an errand, so it like got really cold. So it's like way too cold, so I had to let it sit on the counter to again come up to a nice working temperature. So there's probably a jump here. Making sure it slides because you don't want it sticking to the surface. Adding a little more flour. And then going for our final.
Ooh.
Make it a little more square. very carefully. You can see the gaps in the butter are
Am I having
again showing themselves.
Sorry, I'm having a little bit of
Hiccup in the playback.
yeah. I think it's better now. Okay, good.
And if it starts getting out of rectangle, sometimes you can like slap it back into shape a little bit. I'd use the dough sheeter. Accidentally used a little pressure there. It doesn't matter. You can correct it. Everything's gonna be fine. No panic. Only roll. And you can see it slides really well, which is both a blessing and a curse, because it runs away from where you want it to be. As the gluten starts to, we're on our third roll without a huge rest in between. And the gluten is a little angry. Well, you need dough to slide on the surface so that when you roll it out, you don't want it to shear, right? Because if the bottom sticks to the surface and you roll it, then the dough goes like this, right? Because the bottom is stuck to the thing, but the top isn't stuck, so it starts shearing to the right, and you don't want that. You want the whole thing to slide outwards, even. So it needs to skid. And that was a thing that I don't know. I had a revelation one day in rolling. I previously had always put too little bench flour down, and it didn't roll. It sheared, and then it's like, I don't know. I applied a little bit of bench flour, and I'm like, oh wow, it's like way easier to do. And then I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, it's got to slide. It's taking me a little longer because it was so cold. So I'm just fighting with it a little bit. Slow and steady wins the race. Skateboard cutting.
Thanks for the alert, Koki.
Good to see you, Koki. Trying to get a last little length out, make sure it's not sticking. Checking our dimensions. You want it to look like a book. So if you fold it over and it's looking like a weird dimensioned book, then keep going until when you fold it, it starts to look more book-like. You know? And then I think I do a little trimming here, if I remember correctly, because the edges are around. Just so when they meet up in the center, there's not like gaps. You can see we're starting to get some butter layers in there. Do a little trim over here. Just to be nice and sure. And then we can do our last book fold. You read your laminated books left to right or right to left? Depends on which country you're in. See, the trim helped the middle line up really nicely. Or nicer, I should say. I don't know why I pointed there, but there we go. That's our fold. I don't think I was satisfied with it for some reason. But. And that's the dough that we started with, that we rolled out to make our shapes with. Ta-da! There's our last book fold.
Nice.
It's So I just rewrapped that, and that's where we started. So now we're all caught up. Not that hard. It just takes patience. Takes, if it's too cold, you gotta let it sit. If it's too warm, you gotta put back in the fridge.
All right, we're at the end here. So you want to, how's your dough doing?
Probably pretty proofed. So put my microphone back on.
So any questions, chat, about the techniques and stuff?
Oh, why is it? Oh, hello.
Hey.
Oh, good. It's working. I got new earbuds because my other ones were broken. I wasn't sure they were going to pair, but they did.
Awesome.
Always pleasant surprise when things work.
Okay, Vriel. You have a great night. It was great seeing you. We're gonna bake these danishes off, and while we do that, we'll do some looking online. And we'll do like I think Tox has a video to watch them bake live. And I have a few more questions too.
Oh, nice.
All right, so I'm gonna push this over to you again. How's they all looking over there?
I haven't taken a gander. I've just been fixing things. Jump over to kitchen mode. Okay. My main camera looks a little weird, but that's all right. Maybe I bumped it or something. All right. Let's jump to this view. And then we'll take our... They certainly are puffy. They smell yeasty.
Puffy and yeasty. Oh, they look good.
My braids did not hold on some of them, but that's all right. And now we get to put filling on them. So I pre-made the filling, as we saw, and I probably made about 10 times as much filling as I needed. That's all right.
Butter lasagna.
I got some blueberries.
Good night, Vriel.
Later, Vrew.
It was great seeing you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the sub earlier. I forgot we weren't live yet. I appreciate you.
Oh.
And thank you for boosting the Discord, Braille. We're very close to our next level, and then I'll be able to post whatchamacallits, bigger files.
At any rate, yeah. If anyone has any boosts laying around because they have, nitro and haven't used those boosts, consider lending your boosts to the Muffins and Minotaurs Discord. We can use them.
Yeah, we want to.
Anyway, I bought some blueberries. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
You off.
I didn't have too much to say.
Okay. I bought some blueberries because you can make compotes and put them, but you can also just kind of chuck some blueberries on there, and then they'll bake, and it's nice. So, bought some blueberries. Probably make blueberry jam or something because we're not going to use all of them. I'll find a use for them. I'm going to give them a rinse because pesticides. Quick little rinse, and then we'll be on our way.
Thanks, Braille.
Okie dokie.
On our merry way.
I'm going to preheat my oven. I have to use the only downside of my smart oven is I have to use my smartphone to change the settings. I mean, it does have settings on the front, but it's easier with the phone. Much easier.
You make quick compote and jams at work for clients often when you're making them breakfast. That's, yeah. I love compote and stuff for, well, in general, but breakfasts. It's good. And how long did we have this going? About 50 minutes? Maybe an hour?
Yeah.
It takes me a lot longer at room temperature to be honest. So
Yeah, my smart oven was proofing with like moisture and at like 86, 87 degrees. So it's like right in the yeast happy spot. They would be overproofed, but because I froze the dough for about a week, some of that yeast didn't survive the winter, the proverbial winter.
right.
Yeah. Right.
And we got
So
what,
we
a
put
25-minute bake on these, or
roughly. I made them a little small. I think 3 inches was too small. It's my brain fart today.
it's okay.
So
They look cute. They're gonna look cute.
blueberry too.
I like a mini
Yeah,
Danish.
some tiny. That's the other thing that I was going to say earlier was in my sweets experiments, I found it very hard to gauge just how big some things were going to grow with the puff pastry because it does puff.
Mm-hmm.
Like it grows. So I'd like size something and I'd be like, okay, that's the right size. And then it would just like grow like a monster and jump out of the mold it was in. So, uh, take some experimentation. I think I've missed today. Like they're a little on the small side, but they might turn out to be just the right size. Who knows? Certainly not me, even though I'm giving the demo, for which I'm sorry.
You're doing great. Oh, let me ask my questions while you're doing your work. I asked you something similar, but what's your favorite thing of all time that you've made? Like maybe the thing you're the most proud of.
Oh, most proud of probably the sweets are right now because it was a lot of experimentation and I did cross lamination and I sort of came up with a weird pastry cream that I'm not sure anyone's made tomato pastry cream. Maybe, but I certainly hadn't heard of it. And it turned out pretty good.
It was
And it
very
looked
unique. It was
nice.
cool.
And like I braided or not braided but twisted the edge and cross lamination. I think I already said that, but I'm really proud of it. There's still some things that could be better on it. Like it's not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like the cheese filling kind of burned a little bit. But overall, I was pretty proud of it. Best tasting thing? I don't know. I'm a sucker for chocolate chips, which really sucks because sometimes you put a ton of effort into something and you're like, I could have just had a chocolate chip. Kind of would have been better.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Chocolate chips. I started this whole like streaming to do what I called Cookie Quest, where I took the Wikipedia list of cookies and then was just like working my way through the list of cookies. And a surprising number of cookies. I mean, nothing holds a candle with chocolate chip. It's weird. I thought for sure there was going to be a better cookie out there, but not really.
Yeah, it's kind of hard, huh?
I'm going to toss a blueberry or two in the braided one that popped apart. Tragically, my braid is not very good. I feel like I probably started the dimensions. Like you want longer tendrils for the braid so they go further over. But I made a mistake. again, brain fart. I unfortunately had to travel today, and I'm usually useless on travel days, so I apologize.
Nah, you're doing really, really great. Puff pastry always looks just. I feel like I could just like completely just like throw this trash looking puff pastry on a tray and then bake it, and it's like, wow, it looks so good afterwards. That's my
Peanut butter
experience.
blossoms are really good. Sorry, yeah.
No,
I was
you're
starting
fine.
as well,
You're good.
but yeah, there's a lot of like we're gonna do while these are baking. Well, towards the end of their bake is make some glaze,
Okay.
and what I've also noticed in my experiments is the glaze is also sort of the key to like the Pinterest level looking one, because like you can have a really successful batch of puff pastry, and when it comes out it'll be dull and like not and like a little less brown than like the pictures that you want it to be, but then you glaze it
Mm-hmm.
and it like gets a little darker and it gets a little shiny, and you're like, oh. So like the glaze is like the picture frame, like you can paint a really nice picture, but until you put it in the frame, like the frame like locks it in, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I get it. Yeah, for sure. Any glaze, I would say. Like anytime I do like I think they call it like a nap glaze or something on fruit. That looks really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the oven is at temperature. I think I'm going to put this one on the top because that's the one we'll see.
Okay.
So we'll see my poor braids pop open. Or do you want this one on the top?
Chat, do you have a preference? I don't have a preference.
I'm not sure they do.
Yeah, you do. You pick.
I think I'm reworking. I'm going to go with this one.
Yeah, dude. I think it'll look cool.
Because I want to see.
Yeah, that one would look cool popping up.
All righty. Oh no, I don't have a tablet button for my new scene. Ah, I made a mistake.
It's okay.
Ah.
We get to use our imagination. Oh, there we go, guys.
Sorry.
No. You're good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why is it not going? Oh, damn it. Hang on a second.
Hi, Kitty. Kitty's back. What are you looking for? More legs down?
Okay, I put 20 minutes on there. And then when we hit 10 minutes, like we want them to be in for about 30 minutes. But, well, maybe a little less. But when we hit 20, we'll go make a glaze.
Sorry, in how many minutes?
I put 20 minutes in, and they need to be in there for like 25 or 30. So when this timer goes off, then we'll go make a glaze.
Oh, so in about 20 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will get the stuff out though.
Sure.
So that it's ready. But we can chit chat while this goes.
Yeah.
And see, we already lost a little butter, so don't panic about butter being on the thing. They're gonna puff. What's happening?
I don't know. um. So. Okay. I guess we could look at some. Pinterest stuff. How about that? Sorry. We're.
No, you're good. I'm moving stuff around in my
Oh, I have it on.
kitchen.
Okay. Give me a second, guys. I've got some funny stuff doing. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Why is it so zoomed?
What's happening?
It's like really zoomed. Huh.
The oven camera or like
No,
a desktop
my
capture or something?
my desktop capture.
Oh. You could fit it to screen.
Yeah. All right, there we go. All right, guys. So in 20 minutes, Tox is gonna start doing the glaze. You just get this working properly here. Go.
I'm just getting this stuff out so it's all ready to go.
Yeah, I see the bubbling, the butter bubbling.
Yeah. Layers are puffing. Things are happening.
Tox, you brought up Cookie Quest. Is that how you first started getting into baking streaming, or like how did? Yeah, what all? Tell us the story.
I think I wanted to do cooking streams like even before I actually started streaming proper. Because like even in my last apartment, which I never streamed in, I was like, man, how do I get like a camera in here to like do stuff? Because I watched a lot of like food YouTube. I was like, oh, that looks fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, if I'm gonna try to make ridiculous things, then I need to be able to like record it or share it, because I'm not gonna make danishes in my apartment and then, you know, just eat them all myself and be like, that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I was always looking for like a way to like sort of do a kitchen stream. And then I had like a really early, like, so it was pandemic, right? And I did go home for Thanksgiving, and Sally always jokes with me on my stream about it because I made gumbo for Thanksgiving. Like I'm not a big turkey person, so I made seafood gumbo for my pandemic Thanksgiving, and I burned the roux the first time because of course I did. But that might have been one of the first kitchen streams that I did.
Oh, okay. Your
And
gumbo.
then yeah, and then I like baking things anyway. I was already baking like cookies for myself in the pandemic because so I like to watch Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. It's airs on Sundays on HBO, and I like to eat a cookie while I watch the world fall apart and John Oliver joke about it. So I would like, you know, make myself a batch of cookies and then freeze it, and then I would have like the cookies to like pull out and bake so I could have like 3 fresh out of the oven cookies or something like that, and then watch my TV show on a Sunday. So I was already like making cookies and stuff like that, and it's like, okay, let's explore different cookies. And then I forget who, it wasn't me who had the idea about the Wikipedia list of cookies. I think it was my friend Random Japanese. He's sometimes in chat. I think Random Japanese was like, there's a list of cookies. And I went to the Wikipedia page and I was like, oh, well, this is fun. And I was already working on Castmate, and I was like, I bet I can put this on a wheel. And there goes my camera. No. Oh, it doesn't matter. You guys can't see it. It's fine. But yeah, Cookie Quest was like the start of like the actual repeated cooking streams. And then I did 92 cookies, which was a lot of cookies.
That is
And
wait, 92?
yeah, I did 92 different types of cookies.
Wow. It was a span of how long?
Like 2 years, like one a week, roughly. Yeah, they're puffing now. Look
Could
at
do
them
a big
go.
screen. In a good way, yeah. That's a lot of cookies, Tox. And you're saying chocolate chip is your favorite.
Still the best,
Did you have a second?
which is crazy.
Second place?
Rather boringly, like brownie cookies, brookies, some people call
Okay.
them.
No jam cookies,
They're
huh?
jam cookies,
Yeah,
like
filled
the thumbprints.
Linzer cookies. I like
Oh, Linzer
Linzers.
biscuits were
Yeah.
great. Yeah. There's a cookie from Baltimore called a burger cookie, spelled Berger, not Bu.
Okay.
And it's like kind of a cakey cookie, and then it has this really thick layer of like chocolate ganache on top. It's like almost halfway between ganache and frosting. It was surprisingly good.
Sounds really good.
And then pinoles from Italy. Pinoles, surprisingly good. I didn't think pine nuts on a cookie were going to be that great, but I love the pinoles. Those are delicious. I did like a pistachio and raspberry thumbprint. That wasn't on the list, but it was pretty good. Really delicious.
So you're always gonna have some butter leakage?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I've never seen it without the butter leakage. I don't know how it would, like, because you got open butter layers, so like the butter has to,
yeah,
like gravity will happen. Like, the point is the layers will have like separated and puffed, and they will release a little butter, but life will be fine.
So how do you go about figuring out what you want to create when you're doing all this cool stuff like the sweetsa and the other elaborate miniature snacks? What's your process?
It's probably not a good one, to be honest. But I look at Pinterest a lot, which is kind of weird to say because like Pinterest has problems, but I feel like it's the best food inspiration search engine. Sorry, I'm fixing some stuff fell over in my apartment. Sorry for the noise. Okay, sorry about that. Just mysterious clanging noises coming over the microphone. But it was good. It was about to be a problem. It was slowly falling more and more over. I had to fix it. But so like I'll browse a lot of Pinterest, and there's a lot of like AI garbage on there and stuff. But I'll always be looking for like, I feel like I like aesthetic as much as taste. Like in a way, like it has to like look a certain way, because part of me feels like that's part of the purpose of pastry is like there's a little pomp and circumstance to it, right? Like that's why they work so hard to get it in a certain shape in a certain way and all exactly the same. And I want to get better at that. Like I'm not always particularly good at it. The sweets came out. I mean, the sweets I did like 4 weeks of attempts at them, or like learnings about them. So like I was getting a little better. But I don't know, a lot of Pinterest, a lot of like I have there's an app on my desktop called Obsidian. It's like a note-taking app, and you can set it up so you can just like copy paste pictures in there. So like if I'm just browsing around and I see like an interesting picture of something, then I'll just like copy paste it in there and then sort of forget about it. I'm like, oh, there's an interesting pastry, copy paste. Or sometimes I'll screenshot video like shorts, because like YouTube Shorts, I think I've trained the algorithm a little bit to like give me pastry stuff. And if I see a particularly interesting one, I'll like paste the link and then I'll also screenshot a little bit of it and paste it in there. So just like making pastry dessert collages.
Okay, yeah.
And then it's like, oh, I need to do a thing. And then I also try to pick something I haven't like done very well. So like my one this time was like creme brulee. I hadn't really done creme brulee before, and I was like, can I put creme brulee in a tart shell? Does that work? I don't know. It did. Worked really well. But I don't think I'd seen that happen. So I like to browse a lot of images. I like to look for something that's gonna be visually interesting, even though that doesn't really matter to how it tastes. It sort of matters for Twitch, right? Because like the chat sadly can't taste the thing, so there's a visual element to it. But I also
Right.
think like, what's the saying? You eat with your eyes first. Like,
Yeah.
if you have
Yeah. I
and
like this.
and like I don't know, you go to a bakery and you see like they put the nice stuff in the window and you're like, oh, look at that. Like, I want to be better at that. So I try to find eye-catching-y things and try to pick things I haven't done before, because I feel like that makes a good stream too. Like if it's me doing something for the first time, I'm probably going to screw it up. So it's like there's drama. Slow motion drama, because it takes forever, but you know,
Right.
like if I was only doing stuff I was like really good at, then A, I wouldn't get any better, and B, it wouldn't be very interesting, because it would just be me doing a thing instead of an exploration into something.
Yes.
I don't know. Does that answer the question? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I feel like I rambled.
No, you're fine. That's how it be. Do you have? Well, I'm sure you do. Besides like the chocolate chip cookie, what are like the flavor profiles you find yourself again and again gravitating towards?
I love chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're in the same boat there. Where it's like chocolate. Just give me chocolate.
Yeah.
I love cheesecake, so chocolate, and that's why I chose the cheese filling instead of the pastry filling, or like the pastry cream filling, because I was like, give me the cheesiness. The cream cheese cheesecake things, raspberry, love the raspberry. I love matcha lattes, but I've struggled to get like that matcha-y flavor into baked matcha things. The closest I got was like matcha cream cheese filling in like a chocolate cookie, which was good. But I don't know, chocolate, raspberry, cream cheese, any permutation of that is going to make me very happy.
Okay.
Ooh, they're pretty close to, they're browning.
Yeah, they are. I see them. So we have an ad break. Be done in a minute and a half.
Okay. Is it started? I can't tell. I can pull that.
Yeah, it started. We have 1.5 minutes left on the ad break.
Nice. I can pop your, there we go. Yeah, we'll probably have to start the glaze when the ad comes back.
Sounds good. If you had to eat one cuisine for the rest of your life, what would you choose?
Probably like noodles, like the Asian noodle soups. If that's a, I don't know, is that too restrictive or not restrictive enough? Like
No, that's fine.
there's like a Taiwanese noodle place down the street from me. That's like I could literally eat that every day and be very happy.
I feel that. My camera died.
Like that broth and like bok choy and like noodles.
Sure, yeah. I feel
Little
that.
wontons in there. Oh, happy camper. Oh, we're back from the ads.
Yes, we're back in
Cool.
the ads. You could probably move your camera to show what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just positioning glass camera and getting my tablet because I left it over there because I'm stupid.
And my camera is down right now, so that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm charging it.
Go
So
to this view. I'll put that over there so it's not a problem. All right. So for this glaze, sometimes I've done like honey and like hot water to loosen the honey, but I think I experimented with this with an apricot glaze over Thanksgiving, and I like the apricot glaze a lot more. So that's what we're gonna do. So I just bought apricot preserves, which is a bit of a bummer because I couldn't find apricot jam because preserves has like chunks of apricot in there. Right? So
yeah.
we're gonna heat it up and then strain out the chunks. And then we don't need a ton. I don't know. I'll do another little blob in there. I don't measure it, so I just I throw some in there. And then for over Thanksgiving, because I was doing an apple tart, Claire's apple tart video was like, oh, you can loosen your jam up with a little apple cider. So I still have some apple cider, so that's what I'm going to do. But you can do it with water. Or Grand Marnier is what I've also seen, which is like an orange liqueur, right? So we'll get this going. And we just need to we're not trying to boil it or anything like that. We're just trying to loosen it up so we can strain out all the chunky bits and be left with like a nice apricot jam that's a little loose. Need to double check these guys. Yeah. Well, that. Yeah, the top set is ready to come out, but the bottom set needs another couple minutes.
Okay.
So I'm going to take the top one out. Get a little pad for that to go. They got done a little faster than I was expecting.
Okay.
But I don't want them to burn, so oh my god. Maybe it was the position in the oven. But let's see.
Ooh, okay.
Some layer separation there.
Yeah.
But you can see without a glaze, it's pretty dull.
Yeah.
Like even though it's browned up really well, they're kind of dull. So we will hit them with a glaze. Ideally, you want to glaze them right when they come out of the oven. But because I thought they needed another bit, we're still waiting on our glaze to heat up. What's happening?
Nothing. I have a few more questions. If you still down for it.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Have you ever considered, or did you ever consider a career in the food industry? Like, could you ever imagine yourself in another life doing that possibly?
Not really.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I didn't do a whole lot. Like since I started Twitch, I've done way more like cooking and baking than I did before. And before then, it was like, well, I'm a software engineer, so but I've been programming since I was like 8. So I've like always like I don't remember not software. You know what I'm saying? So I've sort of always been like, oh, I'm going to do software. I'm going to do software. So
Mm-hmm.
I've never really had a backup plan. But I did a lot of music for a while, and I was like, oh man, if I have a backup plan, it's going to be a musician, like a jazz musician. So I never really thought about food. I certainly never thought of being a baker because I'm a night owl. And
Yeah.
it's like, I feel like to be a baker, one must be a morning person.
Yeah, it's kind of something like that. Yeah, that was the worst schedule I ever had, was a baker. Very hard to function, to be honest. Um, well,
My apricots didn't separate too well. That's all right. We'll force them through. Everything's going to be fine.
yeah, you just work around them. Well, say you did have your own food establishment in this alternate timeline. You're forced. This is a karmic justice.
You will wake up early.
What would it be like?
I would want to do a bakery / coffee place. You know,
Okay.
like little pastries and espresso. Like so badly. Oh, I think I moved the
It's
camera
because you
so
want
guys
to
can see
always
what we're doing.
access to fresh pastries and coffee.
That too, it would be great.
Mhm.
But I don't think I would do like like meals. You know what I'm saying? Like savory stuff. If I'm gonna wake up early and do all the things, it's gonna be for dessert.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have some savory options or whatever. Because if you're serving coffee, people are gonna want like breakfast and things like that. So,
Okay,
but
so
my heart
European,
would be in the dessert.
would you say? Or
European?
like, is it a European style cafe or
I don't know what a European style cafe is. What does that
like
mean? Sorry.
French pastries?
Yeah, I think it would be a little of everything,
Okay.
right? Like I definitely have a chocolate chip cookie there, which is definitively an American creation, right?
Sure, yeah. So you got some
Um,
fusion going on.
Gotta have some danishes for sure because I love danishes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's see, eclairs. Those are French. I have eclairs in there. I don't know. Boston has a bunch of places that do cannolis. You know, they they fill them right when you order them. So they like pre-make the shells and then they pipe the ricotta filling in there right at the right when you order them and dip them. And those are like otherworldly good. So I'd kill for like a cannoli place in New York. There's probably one, but they're not like Boston, which has like there's cannolis everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I envision like a New York joint, like
Oh, okay. Cool.
like you. I love like New York neighborhoods. I'm a big like walk, take the train person, and one of like the great things about New York and why I pay the rent that I pay is that you can just walk down the street and go into a cafe. There's one like on everywhere, and you can sit down, you can get it to go, you can eat there, you can get great espresso. They all have little pastries. Most of the pastries they don't bake there, right? Like they like bring them in. Oh, we got to get these guys out. But man, if it was like a cafe that also baked the things, next level, that would be.
Yeah.
That's what those guys look
Ooh.
like. My poor braiding popped open.
I don't know. It looks good. Time for the glaze.
Yeah, so let me move these guys out of the way. This guy. Turn off the oven. There's my glaze. It's a little thick, but that's all right. Hopefully the heat of the pastry will help. You get to glaze them up. And suddenly all those little layers will start to pop.
Look at that. Do you have some favorite chefs to recommend?
Chefs.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't read enough cookbooks, and it's probably my weakness. And I mostly get my information from the internet, which can be unreliable. But there's a fantastic YouTube channel called Sugarology, and she has I think she has like a biochemistry PhD or something like that, and she does like really great baking, and she does a lot of like baking science videos, and she doesn't have enough views. I mean, she should be like 10 times bigger.
Yeah, I noticed the
I
trend.
love her videos.
The trend of that.
So much. But she's done some really wild stuff like spinach or like chlorophyll will actually fluoresce under like black light or fluorescent light, and she made a fluorescing buttercream by extracting the chlorophyll from spinach. So like the cake was one color, but then if it got under a black light, it like glowed like bright magenta. I don't know if that's appealing, but it was cool.
It's cool, yeah, that's for sure.
And then she has like this black cocoa buttercream that's like jet black, like gothic. If you're making an emo person a birthday cake, it's like the perfect frosting for that. And she does a lot of science around buttercreams and different ingredients. She does ingredient deep dives, and it's really nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm mostly like a weird YouTube person. Mostly just.
So what are some of these YouTube? Is it just Sugarology that you recommend, or is there some?
Sugarology, and then of course Claire. I watch like all of Claire's videos.
Okay, yeah.
And then there's Glenn and Friends. I mean, he's more history focused. I love his like old cookbook show. Like on Sundays, he like opens like a cookbook from maybe like 100 years ago and makes something. And those are always really fun to watch. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and I like that he has his wife come out and taste test at the end. And she also does not pull any punches if it's not good.
Oh,
it's a good time. She'll just be like, oh, I don't know about this one, because they don't know how it's going to turn out, right? Because they just make a recipe from the book. I wish I turned all my streams into essentially what his videos are, but
he's got some high quality stuff.
Yeah, his actual job is like food commercial recording, so he has all of the like really really nice filming equipment. So that kitchen he's in looks like his home kitchen, but it's actually a studio kitchen that he has on his property to shoot like commercials for food. So he's like really good at cameras and stuff like that.
Right.
Used to watch a lot of Adam Ragusa. He doesn't post as much anymore, but I loved his brownie deep dive into why brownies get the like the crinkly brownie skin. You
Oh
know?
yeah. Yeah, Stella Parks wrote about that. You know, that is
So
a sugar with the eggs, I guess. Mixing that a lot.
yeah, you need the sugar to be dissolved in the liquid. If the sugar isn't dissolved, then it doesn't form one. And you can't have too much. Like if you have too much brown sugar, that's too much of the wrong type of sugar. Which I forget which one it is. If you need to know, go watch the Adam Ragusa video. He talks to like scientists and stuff, and he's pretty much figured it out. But I really liked his videos on that, and he claims he's not an expert, but he's very good at learning things and figuring things out and practicality and stuff like that.
They are looking
So-
good.
So after you glaze them, they start looking a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Is how I feel about it. My glaze could be a little thinner, but I'm still learning about glazes. So
We would always add
all
hot
improve
water.
together. Hot water. Oh,
Yeah, so we'd add hot water to thin it down. Because when we were making, we would have it on the like burner, and then like we would be doing so many that it like gets thicker on the burner. So we would add water to ours.
yeah, my jam is it's all just gel now.
Yep.
But I can boil some water. I have a kettle.
That's
It
okay.
goes quick. But yeah,
Do it like a cut. See the layers maybe on one of them.
yeah. Which one should we do? Who's our victim? I think it's gonna be this guy. Or no, this one. I'm gonna do this one.
Okay. My last question was, any bucket list bakes, cooks for one day down the line that you can think of? You got a list at all?
Mm,
Or you just kind of come up with it on the fly?
I don't think I plan enough ahead, frankly.
Yeah.
But I want to do those bow ties.
Mhm.
Like getting the dough sheeter made me want to do a lot of viennoiserie. And like if you go and look at all the Pinterest stuff, they're just all perfect, and they're all like the
Mhm.
layers are so crisp, and they've got like the little stripes through them, and it's like, oh my god, how do I do that? So getting to that level is sort of what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying
Okay.
to get better at.
Sure. There's noodles that you wanted to try. I remember you said to.
Oh yes, the Su Filindeu, which is a hand pulled pasta, a semolina dough, from an island which I've forgotten the name of. But they like weave. They do the hand pull of the threads, and then they weave it into like sort of like a noodle basket, and then that goes into a lamb soup. And I want to figure it out. All right, one more glaze.
Oh yeah, that looks. There you go.
Yeah,
Very shiny.
hot water helped. Thank you for the tip.
You're welcome. I didn't want to
It's
interrupt you
still-
earlier.
Yeah,
I probably should have said something. Would have been easier on you. My bad.
that's all right. I'm still
You're in the labyrinth. You gotta
Don't put
suffer a little bit.
exactly. This poor one didn't turn out in a good shape, but that's all right. He's far enough away on camera, you can't tell.
I mean, they look good.
I feel like they're a little rustic.
Yeah, little,
But
but
that's
that's
all right.
okay.
What time is it? Oh my god, it's 1. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. So yeah, what we'll do is just grab the one you want, and we'll do a cross section, maybe a taste test if you want, and well, I
Yeah.
have.
And then we'll be done.
Yeah, I have. I was looking around to see who we can raid. think we might raid a mango since we got so many mango raids, and there's like not really anybody on food and drink right now.
Yeah.
So 'cause it's
You can see
that time of night.
our layers on the edge of the thing are getting there. Some good layer action. Come on, autofocus. You can do it.
Yep.
And then
Does
we'll
look
do a
good.
little slice. Let's go this way. Might be a smidge underbaked, but we got layers.
Yeah.
They're in there.
Nice. Do you feel like when you use your laminator, you get any difference benefits other than, ease of use?
Yeah, it's much more consistent. Like, so I have less problems with the butter shattering. Damn it. Sorry.
It's okay. Oh, is it
I have
overheating
less
a bit?
problems with the butter. Yeah, my camera overheated and shut down because my apartment's way too warm. Coming. Sorry, I was trying to do the taste test on the main camera. There we go. And it's easier to do, like, to get cleaner layers, I've noticed, by a far. Like, I work real hard with
I
the rolling
agree.
pin, and just having just because it's always even and it applies perfectly even pressure, like, you get a much better result.
I hear the crisp.
Mm-hmm.
Nice and buttery.
Very buttery. Good cheese in the center. Blueberry. Nice and soft. Crunchy layers. It's a good Danish.
Well, there you have it, folks. In under 5 hours, we made puff pastry from scratch. What? I think that's pretty good. That's pretty good for a puff, like from scratch puff stream.
Yeah.
Also, sorry guys, my camera's off. It's sleeping. But that's okay. All right, y'all. We are. Was there anything else you wanted to go over, Talks?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I guess my message would be, don't be too intimidated by it. Just go slow, and if you don't want to do a full puff, then do like a rough puff or something like that, or buy the puff pastry.
Buy it,
It
make
still
some
tastes
fillings.
great.
Yeah,
Right?
it's still a challenge. You're still learning how to handle puff pastry. The baking is another challenge of it to get that right with your
Yeah.
oven. Or like we
I
said
undershot
earlier.
a little bit today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it looks good, but I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Or like we said earlier, you can find some workarounds for other laminations. Yeah. Which we'll post some inspiration on the Discord, of course. Sunday, I'll probably do like a research stream for the month. Try to look into what I might want to be doing. I have some books here. We can look online. So we can look into that a little bit more if you're interested. Gonna be rating Viper Vox from the Mighty Mangoes. So I started that up. We got a little bit of time to close out here. Oh, we got to do our end scene credits. I forgot.
Yeah.
We should have time to do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 20 seconds. But yeah, thank you guys, everybody that participated in November's Maple Challenge. I hope that you guys enjoy December's challenge. So that'll be, January will be our 1 year. So that's pretty cool. Exciting. And we'll just keep going with the challenges. We might evolve and everything, you know, see what you guys want to do. If you want to start doing a voting system, we can always look into that. I'm glad you like it, Prime. Anybody around that wants to join, here you go. You can check that out. You don't have to be a streamer. These are all this month's champions that finished the labyrinth. And most of them are streamers, so please do check them out. Alright, y'all, you have a great night. It's great seeing you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
We pull up Vipers. Oh, why is it an Abrix though? Sheesh.